Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are across the world. Welcome to another FPL Raptor live stream. Penultimate live stream of the season. I mean, we might chuck a couple more in there randomly, but the penultimate deadline stream of the season. As always, amazing to see so many people of you in the chat, so many people in the chat. Please do say hello, and like I always say, let me know where you're tuning in from. It's always good to see how international these streams are, and it's normally people from all over the world, sometimes in places I've never even heard of. So say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in from, and then we'll jump into answering your questions and trying to help you as much as possible with one of the final streams of the season. I'm gonna get emotional and start tearing up. Got Cheekster in the chat, of course. Good morning, Ross. Hope you're doing great. I'm doing very, very well, thank you. Didn't sleep too well last night. It was a bit hot in the UK. I know not for some countries, but for the UK it was. Top of the morning to you. Good to see you, True Fandela. Frosty in the chat. Good morning, you beautiful people. Already got a few members. Good afternoon, Ross. I said before and I'll say it again. If I get top 10k by the end of the season, I'll join the members tier 1. Good to hear. Hopefully you're close to top 10k then. Is Pookie to Vardy really worth the -8 because he hasn't been confirmed to start by Sam Martin? I am going to discuss exactly that move in a bit for sure. Good morning. Good morning, Will. Good morning, Andre. FF Scoped in the chat. I made it 11 likes without the stream even starting. Going to be an epic 8:30 start. I'm excited for this stream. Always love streaming. I have decided to chuck on the jacket, even though it's a little bit warm, just because I thought it looks a little bit smart. Like I said, the penultimate deadline stream of the season. Got to make sure I make an effort for the audience. Singapore, Sri Lanka, Bristol, UK. Liam, that's not very glamorous, is it, Bristol, UK? But I'll allow it. Just Essex here, mate. Yeah, I'm from Essex, so that's absolutely fine. Got Romania, Malaysia, Dublin. I'd rather be in pretty much all of these places than where I currently am, so I'm very, very jealous for sure. Suit on next week. I'm not gonna lie, I might wear a shirt in the final deadline stream. I might end up chucking on a shirt, maybe not a tie. I don't wear smart clothing anymore. So I'm a lecturer, but I'm a lecturer in sports psychology. So because I lecture in sport science, sports psych, I can pretty much get away with wearing like shorts and a t-shirt because it's sporty. So I don't ever wear a shirt anymore. Shirt and tie, yeah, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. I don't even know if I have a shirt that fits anymore. Jesus, that'd be something to have a look at. Already 312 people here, which is good at 8:30 in the morning. Nice and early start, but this is how we like it. Exciting stream ahead. So many exciting things to discuss. I've got loads of stuff that I can already see in the chat, which I want to discuss, and we're going to get into some of that straight away. But of course, these streams are sponsored by SPITCH. So just before we get into discussing FPL, just wanted to give a massive shout out to SPITCH. They have been sponsoring the live streams pretty much all season. So if you do want to support the channel, if you've been enjoying my content and you're looking for ways to support the channel, this is completely free to download. Link in the description. It'll be the first link. Just give it a click. Go on to, you can either download the app or you can do it on your web browser. Give it a go. It's basically weekly fantasy football where you build a different team each week. But there are various things that are better about this than FPL. For example, you can play 4 strikers. Amazing. You'll see in a second. I actually switched to a 4-2-4. So you can switch to 4 strikers, which is here you go. Here are all of the formations here. And the other thing I like is that the point system is significantly better. So like I always say, you can get points for interceptions, assists, key passes, tackles. So someone like a Rodri has been absolutely amazing in SPITCH all season. So Ward-Prowse, Tielemans, these sort of guys that wouldn't normally be that fantastic. So definitely give it a go. You can see the team that I'm currently building here. You can pick players that sometimes aren't in your FPL team. So like I probably won't have Kane this week. So I've picked Kane in this team, and I'm probably going to give him the armband just because it gives me an opportunity to own a player that I wouldn't otherwise own in FPL. So like I said, if you'd like to support this trade, support the stream, support the channel. It's completely free to have a go at. Because you can enter paid for competitions if you want to do something outside of the free competition. It is 18 plus, and please be gamble aware. But if you don't want to gamble, just enter the free ones like I do. All right, so all of that being said, let's move on to looking at my team. So I have made 2 transfers. All right, so since the team selection video and last night before some of the price changes, I have made 2 transfers. Right, and I wasn't expecting to make these, but of course with the Salah, looked like it was an injury. Some said it was precautionary. For me, if you guys don't know, I've recently suffered a groin injury, and I suffered a groin strain myself. Groin strains are a really, really tricky injury to get over. So even a grade 1 groin strain, which is basically the least severe groin strain, that is up to 14 days. So you can be out for 2 weeks with the least severe groin strain. Even if it's groin tightness, you can be out for up to 1 to 2 weeks. A grade 2 groin strain, you're looking at something along the lines of between normally 4 to 6 weeks. And then a grade 3 groin strain can be up to 4 to 6 months. So no matter what kind of groin strain it is, assuming it is a groin strain or an adductor strain is the correct scientific term for it, then it looks like it will be a minimum of 1 to 2 weeks. And I just think with the fact that Diaz came off early, with the fact that Firmino's back, with the fact that Jota hasn't played that many minutes recently, and also with the fact that Mane has just looked absolutely fantastic, and they've got the likes of Origi on the bench, and Klopp looks like he's given away that. Basically, I don't see a reason why they would be risking Salah. So no, I don't have any team news or any in-the-know knowledge that Salah's definitely injured. I just look at this and I think he's 13.3 million or whatever he is. By the way, can you stop spamming in the chat? I'm just going to time you out. I'm going to get to questions in the chat in a second, so please don't repeatedly ask the same question over and over again. So I just think that Salah at 13.3 million, he's far, far, far too much money to be sat there if I don't think he's going to start Southampton. And I think there's a very good chance he misses Wolves. And also the fact that they went 120 minutes, maybe that game isn't as easy as I thought for Liverpool. So it's something to consider. We'll have to have a look at it. But for me, I was willing to make the Salah to Son move, right? So the first move that I made was Salah to Son. And then the second transfer that I've confirmed is I did Havertz to Zaha. The reason for that is Havertz just looks like he's second choice anyway to Lukaku at the moment. And also apparently he's suffering with a hamstring issue. So putting that together, the two transfers that I've made for a -4 thus far are Salah to Son and Havertz to Zaha. What that actually leaves me is that leaves me 4.3 million in the bank exactly, which gives me exactly the amount of money required to do Pookie to Vardy. So I've left that in the bank. If we just skip over to... Let me just skip over to the site now and have a look. If I just go to my transfers here, you can see 4.3 million in the bank. So I'm waiting for hopefully some early team news. I've spoken to Sam Martin. I'll discuss that in a second. If we just click on here, if I get Vardy, you can see I've got 0 in the bank. So I've left myself with a perfect amount of money if I want to go Vardy to Pookie for an extra -4. It would take me to a -8. I just really like the next 3 for Vardy. I think even Chelsea looks like a decent fixture, but Watford and then Southampton at home. If he can start Watford and Southampton and get some minutes against Chelsea, I think that's great. Of course, the worst case scenario would be that he starts Chelsea and then is benched against Watford and Southampton, but I can't see him being benched on the final day against Southampton at home, the final home fixture of the season. And I also think it would be quite surprising if after an incredible performance against Norwich, he suddenly gets benched there. So I think there's a good chance he starts all 3. If not, he could start 2 of the next 3. So Vardy's an option there for me. We'll have to wait and see. But if not, the team will look something like this. Captaincy, I've got no idea. We're going to run a poll in a second. I've got no idea with captaincy. And then the other thing I'm not sure on is, do I want to do that? Do I want to play Alonso instead of Saka? I'm not sure at the moment which one of those 2 I want to play. The thing is, if I bring Vardy in, right, I'm probably banking on the fact that I think Leicester will score against Chelsea. Yes, Alonso's looked fantastic, but Saka's still on penalties. And his underlying data's okay still, so maybe I play Saka. And even Laporte, apparently, so Laporte has been in training as well. I could even start Laporte if I wanted to. But I'm thinking, keep it like this. There's a good chance, I think, that Trent is benched. If you look at a lot of the predicted lineups, looks like Trent could potentially be benched. If Trent is benched, I'd get Alonso coming in anyway, because I doubt Trent would come off the bench. But there's that to think about as well. I could even just start Trent on the bench and start Alonso if I wanted to. So that's the team, how it currently looks. Let me know what you guys think of that team. And let me just get... I just saw there was a super chat. Yeah, so super chat from Jay. Good morning, mate. Do you think I should get in Zaha for Foden or Mount? Will be a 4-point hit. Is it worth it? Will Foden or Mount even start? Cheers. But to be honest, I would be keeping Foden and Mount. I don't particularly like that move there. I think Foden and Mount are both better options for 38, and they've both got a decent chance of starting in 37. I don't really like that particularly, Jay. But I do like the idea of getting Zaha in. Just probably not for either of those. Like, for me, Havertz was a much better transfer out than Foden or Mount for me. So just to clear up a couple of things before we move on to answering all of your questions specifically. First thing, like I said, Laporte has trained, right? So Laporte was in training. What am I doing here? Laporte was in training. So if you need to start Laporte, I think you can probably get away with it. To be honest, I think he's very likely to either start or to not start and stay on the bench. So I think you can either start him and hope that he plays, and then if not, you'll have your sub coming on, or you can leave him on the bench. I don't think, even if he was fully fit, I don't think he's my best option in defence for me this week. So that's the first thing to clear up is Laporte. Second one to clear up is Watkins. As far as we know, Watkins is available but hasn't trained a lot. So I'll be honest, I don't think Watkins starts versus Palace, but it's not worth a transfer for me. So at the time of recording this, I'm going to be keeping Watkins. I'm not going to be selling Watkins. If I was on a free hit, we're going to discuss an idle free hit in a second. If I was on a free hit, I would not be selling. I would not be picking Watkins, I should say. I'd be picking Ings. So on a free hit, pick Ings, in my opinion. If you've already got Watkins, I'm not sure it's worth taking him out for me because there's a chance he plays both. If he is rested against Palace, there's a very good chance he's fit for the Burnley game. So for me, it's not worth selling Watkins. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. With respect to rotation, we don't know. Like the Liverpool and Chelsea team, they're probably going to see quite a lot of rotation. I still think there's a good chance James, Alonso and Mount start. I would be probably slightly more worried about Liverpool just because there's a tighter turnaround for Liverpool. So Liverpool play on the Tuesday. Chelsea don't play until the Thursday. So I think there's a good chance we see a bit of rotation with the likes of Trent, maybe Mane, maybe Robertson. So outside of that, I think we're fine. Like I think the team's looking okay, actually. Oh, and then the fun thing is the Vardy discussion, right? So I was chatting to Sam Martin last night. Let me just give you his Twitter account. So this is the guy that if we get early Leicester news, it's going to be him. I was chatting to him last night. He said that he's asked a few people, but he's not heard anything back regarding the lineup. So he said he's still hopeful, but he would have hoped to hear by now. So I think we should maybe go on the assumption we're not going to get any early team news regarding Vardy. What he did just tweet. So he's just tweeted and he said, we're obviously getting close to the deadline and I haven't heard anything with regards to our team. So he still hasn't had any news regarding who's starting for Leicester. He said, my free hit team currently contains Vardy and Maddison. Just getting it out there so that you don't come for me if I tweet the side but don't have them on the free hit. Right, so essentially what he's saying, in my opinion there, is from a fan's perspective, right, not an in the know account, from a fan's perspective, he's expecting both Maddison and Vardy to start, but he doesn't have any official confirmation. So take that as you will, do with that as you will again. I'll be honest, I'm still tempted to bring him in, even if we don't get any information regarding Vardy there. If I do, it would be benching Saka, right? So the choice for me here is Vardy minus 4 points. Is he going to outscore Saka? Or Saka plus 4 versus Vardy? I like the extra fixture for Vardy. And also, like I said, I like his 38 fixture as well. So I may well be bringing in Vardy anyway, but I would love to get some confirmation from Sam Martin if he does start. Got a super chat from Marcelo, Mr. Max. Thank you very much, mate. Morning, gents from South Africa. Kasper, Trent, Cancelo, James, Mikalenko. Great. Son, Salah, Coutinho, Mount, Gordon, Richarlison. Already took a -4. Would you take another -4 to sell Salah for who? Depends who is sat on your bench, Max. It would have to be probably for either Diaz or De Bruyne for me. You can either just go straight for another premium switch. I guess you could go for Zaha. Yeah, so it depends. If you want to attack the double, go for Zaha. Outside of that, just it would be a Luis Diaz or De Bruyne. It depends who would come in if not, right? So maybe drop that in the chat. But I don't think you need to there. I think your team is very strong. And assuming you have a decent substitute, I think you're fine. Are you captaining cash? I don't know. God knows what I'm doing with captaincy at the moment, to be honest. I still don't know what my final transfer will be. Like we said, if I get confirmation that Watkins still hasn't trained, maybe I just make the Watkins to Ings switch and I don't go for Vardy. If I had Ings in my team, so just to recap captaincy, if I had Ings in my reading to FPL Villain's tweet just now, I'm assuming that Villa go the same. Okay, I'll have a look in that in a second. If I had Ings in my team, in my opinion, Ings is the best captaincy shout. All right. If I had all of the players in the world, if I was on a free hit, I'd be captaining Ings. Outside of that, I just don't know. Like, at the start of the week, I wanted to captain Richarlison. In my head, Richarlison was the one to go for. He's obviously guaranteed pretty much 180 minutes. He's on penalties, but I'm just not sure how many goals I expect Everton to score in this double. Like, their data's not fantastic going forward. Crystal Palace are a very secure defence. Brentford have looked a lot better recently as well. I don't know. I don't know regarding captaincy, to be honest. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, it is on Matty Cash. But the issue is with Matty Cash, he's just not that attacking. He's not that attacking. So am I expecting that much from Matty Cash? I don't know. I'll run a poll in a second, guys. Once we've answered a few more questions, I'll run a poll to see who you guys are captaining. You can let me know in the chat straight away now, though. Max says, I have Sessegnon on the bench. I'd just play Sessegnon, probably, Max. I think that's a fine player to play. Decent fixture against Burnley. Good chance for clean sheet. Got a couple of super chats coming in from Dave Lister. Is Saka going to play? I thought he was carrying an injury. As far as I know, Dave, Saka is good to play. He did have an injury, but he played recently and he looked okay. I haven't seen anything that suggests that Saka isn't going to play. Just maybe make sure that you've got a decent first sub. But I might not end up playing Saka anyway. Like I said, if I bring in Vardy, I probably won't play him. And I might play Alonso ahead of Saka anyway. Got a massive super chat from my main man, Frosty. Thank you very much. First time in a while, I felt a bit stuck on what to do, okay? Currently plan to do Salah to Maddison and Pookie to Kane. That looks perfect. Strongly considering a -4 on Watkins to Ings. Game week 38 will be Watkins to Tony. Good luck this week, buddy. Firstly, Salah to Maddison and Pookie to Kane. I absolutely love that, especially as I think there's a good chance Maddison plays both, and maybe it's a nice alternative to doing Vardy, right? You get in Maddison. I think Maddison could absolutely go off against Watford. The Watkins versus Ings for a hit is something which I'm weighing up. So if you carry on tuning into the stream, I'll let you know. Like I said, if we can get some sort of confirmation that Watkins is out, Watkins to Ings to me makes sense that I would captain Ings. If we don't, it just doesn't make sense to me, because if Watkins is fit and he plays both, I'd argue he's just as good of an option as Ings, and I just don't think it's worth a hit to take out what is arguably their best striker in Ollie Watkins. So unless we get confirmation, mate, I don't think I'll be making that move personally. By the way, guys, there are 720 people watching, which is really cool. If you are one of the people watching that hasn't dropped a like on the stream, please do drop a like on the stream. Massively appreciate it. It's completely free for you guys to do. Also, we're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So if you're watching this now and you're enjoying the live stream, please do drop a subscribe as well. Again, it's completely free. Liking and subscribing completely free, but it really does help to support the content creators that you enjoy watching. We've got a super chat from Suchet. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. Hey, Ross, good to see you, my man. Jota versus Diaz versus Maddison on free hit, okay? Paul might down tools against Southampton if City beat West Ham. Also, views on Kane versus Vardy if I have Son. I would attack the doubles. I would attack the doubles and go for Maddison and Vardy myself, mate. I guess if you go for Maddison, you could potentially go for Kane to just spread the risk a little bit more, but you've already got Son. So if this was my team, I'm a bit of a sucker for a double game week. I would absolutely be picking Maddison and Vardy. So that's just the way that I tend to attack doubles. And you can see by the transfer I made, bringing in Zaha, I'm looking to bring in Vardy. I think that's a decent shout. Hey, Ross, I'm trying to get news on Kulusevski. Yeah, let me know if you hear anything. Absolutely. I haven't seen anything yet. FPL Villain suggests Watkins starts. If FPL Villain says that, let me get that up, guys. Thank you for letting me know. I trust FPL Villain. He's very good with early news, to be honest. Let's have a look, guys. Okay. So FPL Villain is very, very good with early team news. As far as I know with FPL Villain, though, he actually gets some of the news himself, right? He's an actual like in the know, like he has direct contacts with the club, similarly to Sam Martin. He's just tweeted that from what he hears, Watkins starts, but he said it doesn't come directly from me, which makes me think that he's just heard it as a rumor, and therefore I'm less likely to trust that. So I'll just chuck the tweet there, guys. This is why I'm not that keen on selling Watkins, just because if there's rumours going around that he might start Palace, he should definitely start Burnley. If he gets 20, 30 minutes off the bench against Palace, he could end up playing a similar amount of minutes to Danny Ings. I'm not sure that it's worth making the transfer as a result. Laporte seen in training and ready for 3 points from Zaha the troll. Yeah, Laporte is seen in training, which is great news for Game Week 38 for me. Right, let's run this captaincy poll, guys. Who are you captaining in game week 37? Son. Guys, who are the captaincy options, the main ones that you want in this poll? I've only got 4 places, right? Let me know in the chat right now, who are you captaining, just so that I've got the correct options. I don't want to put in an option that you guys wouldn't currently be captaining. So like Son, Richarlison was obviously a top one. Yeah. Just slap all of your captaincy options in the chat that you're currently looking at. Just keep spamming all of your captaincy options. I just want to make sure I get the right options in it. Ings. KDB, Maddison, Coutinho. Right, I'm not going to be able to get all of these options in here. Adam says, good morning, Raptor. Vardy captain has to be considered. Absolutely, Adam. If I bring in Vardy, I'll probably give him the armband for sure. Okay. I'm not going to be able to get all of these options on here. That's really annoying. We're going to do it like... YouTube, by the way, if for some random reason someone from YouTube's watching this, just give us the option to make a poll with more than 4 options. It's just annoying that I can only put 4 options on these polls. It's basically going to have to be Zaha or Vardy for the final option. Which doesn't... I'm just going to put Zaha / Vardy. I know this isn't ideal combining 2 options. If your option's not there, just vote on the option that you potentially would do otherwise, right? This isn't ideal at all. It's not ideal at all, that poll. In fact, I hate it, but there we go. As someone that does psychology questionnaires all the time, combining answers is not ideal, but there you go. Hopefully that'll give us a bit of an idea. And then we can ask some questions in the chat as well. From just looking at what people have put in the chat, it looks like Son and Ings and Richarlison are probably the top 3 options. But we'll have a look what the poll is. So the poll is now in the chat, guys. Let me know what you want to do on the poll. Just something that I wanted to jump into straight away, because I know quite a few people watching are keen to know, is what I would currently do on free hit. Right, so here it is. Before I jumped on the stream, I just built what I would currently be doing if I were on a free hit. And this is it. So let me know what you think in the chat, guys. This would be along the lines of what I would be going for if I were on a free hit this week. There are a few spots that you could potentially switch around, right? You could drop, Eddie, I did see that, but he said it's not come from him. So we just discussed that. FPL Villain's very, very reliable, but he said it hasn't come from him, that news. So from what he's heard, Watkins might start, but if he's confident, he normally just says it. So that's the same team as everyone else. I don't really care. This is the thing. With a free hit, it's differential enough. All of these options pretty much are differentials apart from Son and De Bruyne. It does not matter if your team looks similar to other people that are free hitting. There is absolutely no issue with building a template free hit. You will have more issues, in my opinion, if you go slightly outside of that. So the only place is that your captaincy on the screen. That's not my captaincy. This is a free hit. But in my opinion, if I could captain anyone in the game, I would be captaining Danny Ings. Danny Ings looks like the captaincy choice this week, in my opinion. He might be on penalties. If Watkins is out, I think he's fantastic. If Watkins is playing, I think he's fantastic. What's the hype of picking Vardy in the free hit? He plays against Watford. It's the best fixture of the week for the doublers. Like all of the other doublers, in my opinion, actually have slightly trickier fixtures. Whereas Vardy and Maddison, they have Watford as the first game. And even Chelsea, their data's not been bad recently, but they have conceding a few big chances. And Vardy and Maddison, I think, could be a decent option as a result. The only spot on this free hit, which I wouldn't be that sure on, is De Bruyne, but I just don't see anyone else that I'd particularly want in that spot. And I think City are going to want to wrap up the league this week against West Ham, so I wouldn't mind slapping De Bruyne in there. You could go for Mahrez, you could go for another double game week player. This actually has a bit of money in the bank, this team as well, so you've still got a lot of options. You can see I've got Luis Diaz first sub, which is a really decent option if you want to. So this is my ideal free hit. For those of you that are on your free hit and you want to compare a little bit, this is roughly what I'd be going for. Mikalenko could be switched out for a Crystal Palace defender. You could potentially switch it up altogether and just go for like a Cancelo in defence. So you've got multiple options there. Captaincy polls so far looks like at the moment Son is leading. So Son looks like the top captaincy option, which is the early kickoff. Pranjal with the super chat says, best goalkeeper option here. A, play Ramsdale. B, play Dubravka. C, Ramsdale to Pickford -4, then start Dubravka in 38. I'd probably just play Ramsdale, but I'd say Ramsdale, the Pickford move, then Dubravka, in my opinion. Kane or Vardy on free hit. This is my ideal free hit, so I would just about lean towards Vardy for the extra fixture. But of course, the worry is that Vardy doesn't start the first fixture, starts against Chelsea, and then you've basically picked Vardy against Chelsea instead of Kane against Burnley. So I don't mind picking Kane at all. But for me, I'm a bit of a sucker for a double game week, and I really like that first fixture. Thoughts on Cornet on free hit? We're going to discuss Cornet and other free hit options in a second. We'll have to see. Oh, I just saw Diaz. Would Jota be more likely to start? Yeah, Jota might be more likely to start, but Diaz just looks first choice at the moment. And again, he didn't play 120 minutes in the FA Cup. He played a similar amount of minutes to Jota, so I think there's a very reasonable chance that we see Diaz and Jota start. If I had to guess the front three at the moment for the Southampton game, and I don't want to completely commit to this because, again, I'm not a Liverpool fan, I'm not in the know, I don't know this for certain. If I had to guess the front three for the Liverpool game, I would say it would be Diaz, Jota, and Firmino. And I'd say Mane maybe gets the rest here. He's just played a lot of minutes recently, Mane. So I think there's a very reasonable chance that we see Diaz, Jota, Firmino. We could even see potentially Origi into that front three. I'm just not sure. Klopp's given a few quotes which would suggest that he's maybe going to rotate quite heavily, but how heavily he actually rotates is difficult to try and predict that. So I think we could see a number of potential combinations of that front three. How about Coutinho? Yeah, I don't mind Coutinho at all. The issue is with Coutinho, of course, it means you have to drop one of Luca Dean or Matty Cash. So, hey Ross, good morning. Do you think Maddison looks better over Zaha considering Palace's away form? What do you think? Yeah, I just think Zaha's slightly more nailed. He's also on penalties. That was the only reason I went for him over Maddison. And like I said, there's a chance Maddison doesn't play, but I can't see any reason why he wouldn't. Is Luca Dean ill? I haven't seen anything at all which would suggest Luca Dean's ill. 1,000 people watching. There are 1,000 people, which is only the third time that's happened this season. So if you're one of the 1,000 people that are watching, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you drop a like on the stream as well. And thank you for watching here today. Would you triple up on City this week? I would not triple up on City this week, no. Play KDH and bench Sessegnon. Yeah, I'd play the doubler there, I think. Kane or Ings on the free hit? I'd go Ings. I think Ings is a fantastic option. I know that could bite you, but 2 fixtures, maybe on penalties. The double game week players have let me down all season. Is it a trap? I don't think so. Don't let past situations influence this. This is a completely different week, right? This is not game week 26. It's not game week 29. This is game week 37. The players with doubles look fairly decent. I would make sure that you pick a few of them at least. This is my team, guys. We'll just go back to my team now. That's my team there. I've already made 2 transfers, so this team's for a -4. I've already brought in Son for Salah, and I've brought in Zaha for Havertz. As I said, I've got 4.3 million in the bank, which means I have exactly 0 in the bank, exactly enough money to go from Pukki to Vardy. Sorry, apologies. If I go Pukki to Vardy, it means I bench Saka, and I'd probably captain Vardy. So there may well be a Vardy party. We may well be switching the Pukki party for the Vardy party. If we do that, we're just going to hope that Pukki doesn't have a party and that Vardy does. Make sure to vote on the captaincy poll in the chat, by the way, guys. Son is currently winning. So it looks like in the early kickoff, Son is going to be the favoured captaincy choice this week, which is interesting. Why cash captain over Richarlison? I don't know who I'm captaining at the moment. I haven't given it enough thought. Like, do remind me to have a look at that. I don't have a clue who I'm going to captain this week. It's just one of those where it just feels like a bit of a big, like a punt. To be honest, I want to bring in Vardy and captain Vardy, but I only feel comfortable captaining Vardy and bringing him in if we get some sort of nod that he starts. I may still bring him in even if we don't get early team news, but I wouldn't feel comfortable giving Vardy the armband if I don't know that he starts Watford. What should I do with Laporte? Laporte has been seen in training, Sean. So Laporte is in training. So you can start Laporte, you can keep Laporte. I probably wouldn't be selling Laporte. Hey, Ross, bench either Cancelo or Jesus. I'd bench Jesus probably just about. Son or Cash or Richarlison captain. Take your pick. I've got all three and I have no idea either. You look good today, Ross. Thank you very much. That's kind of you to say. Coutinho with a new contract. Isn't it a good punt for captain? Yeah, I like Coutinho for this week. Coutinho is a significantly better option now that we know that he is signing permanently for Villa next season. So yeah, I really like Coutinho as a captaincy option now. Sell Saka for Zaha. Yeah, that seems to be a popular move this week. I don't mind it. What to do with Mount, James and Alonso? I'd keep them. Decent fixture this week if they start. Watford at home next week if they don't start. I'd be keeping the Chelsea boys personally. Would you sell Trent? I don't mind selling Trent because I think there's a reasonable chance that Trent doesn't start, but I still think I'll keep him. I still think he'll play at least one of the next two, and he's just so good when he does play. Choose one of Richarlison or Coutinho. If that's for captaincy, maybe Coutinho, you know. I think Coutinho could go off this week. Best three... Sorry, the chat's moving proper really quickly, so I'm not able to keep up with all this. Best three Villa assets. Probably Cash, Coutinho and Ings at the moment. But if Watkins is fit, I'd put Watkins in there. But at the moment, it would be Cash, Coutinho and Ings. I do really like Luca Dean, though. Luca Dean's stats have been pretty decent recently. Thoughts on Gallagher if you can't afford Zaha? Gallagher's really not been that fantastic recently, I must admit. So I'm not necessarily... I don't have an issue with that. I just think it is a downgrade for me. Suche has upgraded membership to Rap Tier 1. Thank you very much for upgrading your membership, my man. I appreciate that. Just drop me a message on Discord and I'll... just lost the chat. How on earth do I get the chat back? I genuinely have no idea how to get the chat back now. That's not ideal, is it? Hello? Are we back? Are we back? I don't know if the stream died there, guys. I don't know if you can still see me and hear me. Just let me know in the chat. Sorry, I completely lost the chat. I clicked the back button on my bloody YouTube. Cool. Right, I think we're back. God knows what happened there. Right. I'm getting in Trossard for this game week. Yeah, Trossard is a really nice single game week option. I made this... Where is it? I made this graphic earlier on in the week, right? I think Trossard is arguably one of the best single game week options that you can pick for this week. Along with maybe Welbeck and Tony, I think are some other good options. All good. Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, that was a nightmare. I clicked the back button. I've got on my mouse, I've got a gaming mouse. And on the thumb, it's got... Are you going to be able to see that? It's got two like buttons which go back and forth. And I just clicked the back button and completely lost my stream. Maddison or Coutinho on free here. I'd actually maybe lean towards Coutinho at the moment, but I think Maddison and Coutinho are both fantastic options, to be fair. What do you think of Mahrez on the free here? I don't mind Mahrez at all. If Kulu is ill, should I go for Vardy instead of Kane? I don't think Kulusevski's going to impact Kane too much, but yeah, I still think I prefer Vardy anyway. Obviously, ignore Buendia now on this list, by the way, guys. I'm less keen on Buendia now. This was before Coutinho signed the contract. I think now that Coutinho signed that, I'd be less keen on Buendia. And also the fact that Watkins might be playing. I think there's a good chance that... bloody camera. I think there's a good chance that Coutinho starts both and Buendia maybe only starts one. Right. Is it worth going for any... by the way, I know my camera's off. Just resetting it, guys. Is it worth going for any Leicester defenders? Probably not. I think there's probably better options than the Leicester defence. If you are going to go for one, I think Castagna could be the most exciting. But again, I don't know if he starts the next three. Outside of that, maybe Fofana. Outside of that, probably not. Probably not. I would personally just be looking at maybe Everton and Villa, especially on a free hit. Start two out of James, Matip, Kulusevski, and Saka. I would start James and Kulusevski and Saka first bench, probably. Luca Dean is ill, FFS. Where's everyone seen that Luca Dean is ill? Is this come out recently? Can someone... What's the account that I should be following to see that? Let me know in the chat if there's an account that's tweeted that reliably that Luca Dean is out ill. Or is the chat just trolling me? These things happen. Sometimes the chat just go absolutely crazy with some stuff. Kulusevski is 100% ill. He's being assessed this morning. Yeah, I know Kulusevski's ill. We'll have to wait and see. By the way, thank you very much, Dave, for becoming a member. Drop me a message over on Twitter or Discord, and I'll get your role upgrade, and you can get entered into the private chat and the private mini league as well. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Is Kulusevski ill? Is the news reliable? I've seen 3 accounts that are very good for early Tottenham news all tweet that Kulusevski is ill, so I would say it's fairly reliable. But he's being assessed this morning, and illness is one of those things. He might wake up this morning and feel fine. Now that Dean is out, who's the replacement? Where are we seeing this Luca Dean news? Let me know. Let me know. I'm on Twitter now. I'll just refresh my page. I can't see anything. I'm assuming you guys are just doing that thing where you all start tweeting about something that's not true. Julius. Mikalenko or Cash? Maddison or Zaha or Coutinho? I'd go Cash, and I'd probably go Coutinho, to be honest, but if you want to spread the risk a little bit, I think both Zaha and Maddison are fine. If this is for a transfer, I'd probably go for Zaha or Maddison just because they've got a better 38 fixture. If it's on a free hit, I think all 5 options there, I'd probably want all 5 in my team to try and work out a way to get as many of those as possible. If Watkins is fit, does that make Ings a worse choice? No, I think it's difficult to make Ings a bad choice. If he's got Watkins alongside him, he's got his workhorse. If not, he's got Buendia and Coutinho in behind him, feeding him balls. I think whatever way you look at this, Ings is a fantastic, fantastic option, in my personal opinion. I don't think there's a way you can frame this where Ings isn't a great option. By the way, if you're watching this, we've got 1,300 people in the chat. That's the most people I've had on a live stream. So thank you. If you are new to the channel, we're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So if you're watching this and you're enjoying it, please just scroll down, click the subscribe button. It takes you about 3 seconds. Massively helps to support the channel, though. I do appreciate it if you do subscribe to the channel. And welcome if you're new. Got another super chat from Mohammed. Says, hi, Ross. Thoughts on Castagna for a free hit? I don't mind it at all. I'm not a Leicester fan. I don't know how likely he is to start both games. What I would say is they've got enough fullbacks to rest him. So I think it's a slight risk, but I think there's a lot of upside there. So I think you could definitely look at potentially making that move. Unless someone tells me the Twitter account that has said that Luca Dean is injured, I'm not believing any of you. I'm assuming you're just trolling me here. Ill, I should say. Thank you for this season. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Jean-Pierre. Ross, should I take a -4 to take Salah out for Son? I'd probably do it, to be fair. Yeah. Is Cash captain locked in? No, it's not. It's not locked in. I'm probably going to captain Vardy if we get anything from Sam Martin, which says that he's fit and ready to go. Ings could be benched. No, I'd be very surprised if Ings benched. He looks absolutely brilliant at the moment. But yeah, I guess if Watkins is injured, if Watkins is fit for both games, i.e. if Watkins is absolutely fine and he plays both, I think there's a slight chance that Ings is rested for the second one, but I still think he'll be fine. Don't know if I missed you answering me. I have Fofana, Watkins, and Tarkowski starting, you think? Fofana, I think, should be fine. Watkins, I'm not sure. Tarkowski, again, I'm not sure. Those latter two are a slight risk. I think Fofana should be fine. Robertson benched. Yeah, I think there's a good chance Robertson and Trent miss out, but I don't know that for certain. But Tsimikas looked amazing when he came on, scored the winning penalty, and Robertson looked absolutely knackered. So considering they've not got a great break between the two games, like I said, they're playing on Tuesday, I'd be slightly worried about Robertson and Trent. Which three Villa players? Like I said, I think Cash, Coutinho, and Ings, but I don't mind switching out Coutinho for... Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the news. I don't mind switching Coutinho for Luke Dean. Let me jump back on Twitter. Apparently, it's FPL Villain said that. I'm not seeing that unless it's somewhere. Let me check his replies. I can't see anything from FPL Villain, guys, on Luca Dean. Let me know. Got a... Sorry, by the way, I'm trying to keep up to date with all of the latest news, that I get you guys the latest news as quick as possible. So if I go a little bit silent and I'm looking at my screen, it's because I'm checking Twitter trying to find out the latest news. True Fandela, thank you for supporting the channel. As always, my man, I really do appreciate it. On my free hit, Diaz and Vardy and Kane and Richarlison. Well, that looks amazing. Or Diaz and Vardy and Kane and Ings. So it's Richarlison versus Ings. Or Maddison, Kane, Ings, and Richarlison. I actually like the final one, mate. I really like that final one. Maddison, Kane, Ings, and Richarlison. On your free hit draft, you have 2 Everton defence and 2 Villa defence and Zaha. Is it a conflict? It's a bit of a conflict, but when you're playing a small double game week, you're always going to have players playing against each other, so I don't mind that too much, to be honest. Yeah, so just to recap the news that FPL Villain has, right, and FPL Villain is an in-the-know Villa account. He said, he basically tweeted a lineup yesterday with his prediction, and he said he got 10 out of 11 right according to a source. And he said, according to this new source, which has got stuff right before but isn't his source, Watkins starts. So FPL Villain is under the impression that Watkins starts. He's also under the impression this isn't early team news. He thinks that there's a chance that Luca Dean misses the Burnley game. Right, so the early team news is that he thinks Watkins is starting. His prediction, this is not a source or a leak, his prediction is that Luca Dean misses the Burnley game because he thinks he'll want Dean for Man City on the final day, and he thinks he'll want to give Ashley Young some kind of send-off. I would not be looking to sell Luca Dean at all. 100% I would be keeping Dean. And unless we get confirmation, I would not be selling. By the way, take this with a massive pinch of salt, guys. I want to give you the latest news, but I'm also wary that there are 1,500 people watching this, and I don't want to give you false news. I'm going to link in the chat right now the tweet that is going around, which says that Watkins starts. I do not know if this is a reliable source. I'm putting it in here purely to give you all of the information possible. This is the tweet that's going around. I don't know for certain if this is a reliable guy. Some people have said he's been reliable in the past, but he's not tweeted since December. So I can't think he's been that reliable, to be honest. Otherwise, you would see all of his tweets there. Take it with a pinch of salt. But he's saying that Watkins starts as well. All of this together would just make me want to keep Watkins. It wouldn't make me transfer Watkins in. I would still have Ings on my free hit. If you've got Watkins, though, I wouldn't be selling him. Should I start Mateta or Saka? I'd go Mateta. Start the doubler and hope that he plays both. On a free hit, would you swap to Cash? On a free hit, I would be having Cash anyway. If I could only choose one, I would be having Cash. Any news on whether Kulusevski is sick? Yes, Kulusevski is sick. Let me find you the source for that. Let's have a look. Yeah, Kulusevski's ill. But they're going to assess him. They're going to assess him. When did they say? This morning, I believe. Basically, Alistair Gold was the one that tweeted it. But I can't find that tweet anymore. He linked an article. There's lots of people that are suggesting that Kulusevski's ill, by the way. I can't find the exact one here now on Twitter. But yeah, Kulusevski, he was ill yesterday. Apparently he's going to be assessed this morning. Like I said, apparently it wasn't COVID. Therefore, there's every chance that he was just feeling a bit under the weather, wakes up this morning and feels absolutely fine and starts. But the thing is, Lucas Moura could quite easily start in ahead of him. Sam Martin sometimes got the lineup leaked the day before. Could be legit, could be bish. Yeah. So, but I trust Sam Martin. Sam's very reliable. This Villa guy, like I said, he's got absolutely no tweets since December. So he's either done two things here, this new Villa tweet. He either regularly guesses and deletes it when he gets it wrong, which wouldn't be good, or he's just not had any news since December. Ross, do you think the early kickoff conspiracy is true? The early kickoff is absolute nonsense. Where the early kickoff comes from is gambling. So I won't get into this too much, but it is psychology. So I know all about this. It comes from when people put on bets because of things like cashing out and wanting to elongate the possibility of winning. You don't bet on the early kickoff. The reason you don't bet on the early kickoff is your whole accumulator would be absolutely wiped out after one game. So I think that it comes from that sort of perspective. And the early kickoff is a myth with respect to early kickoff teams aren't less likely to do well, but it does ruin your weekend. If you captain Son and you have Kane, Son and Kulusevski and all of them blank, it does ruin your weekend if you let FPL get to you. So I think that's why we don't like the early kickoff. I don't necessarily think that there's anything in it with respect to it being a curse, right? Yeah, I keep reinforcing this. FPL Villain is fantastic for early, reliable news. He's definitely in the know. It is absolutely key, though, absolutely key, that you realise that he has said it is a rumour based on a source which is not his usual source. So he doesn't know 100% how reliable that is, right? So please, please, please be careful. He's not saying 100%, but yes, the FPL Villain is absolutely reliable. FPL Villain is not saying that Watkins starts. That is not what he said. He said, according to a source, which is not his usual source, Watkins does start, right? There's a very, very big difference between those two. I'll just link the tweet once more, just because people seem to be under the impression that this means that Watkins all of a sudden starts. This does not mean that. He is just saying that he has seen something which would suggest that Watkins does start. That'll be the final thing I'll say on that. I'm sure I will bring it up again, to be fair. Captaincy poll still going in the chat, by the way. 34% on Son, 29% on Richarlison, 26% on Ings, Watkins, Cash, and then only 12% on Zaha or Maddison. Zaha or Vardy. So it looks like most people are on Son. So Son captaincy looks like it's going to win this week, which in my opinion means that probably Son will be over 100% effective ownership. So if Son does well and you own Son, you're probably still losing rank just due to the fact that he's going to be owned and captained by so many people, which isn't ideal, but we'll see. Maddison or Zaha, probably just about Zaha, but I think Maddison's a fine option as well. What do you think about a punt on Firmino? I think there are much, much better options to pick personally. Captain Richarlison or Son. I'm a sucker for a double game week, so I'd captain Richarlison, but I think Son's fine as well. Should I sell Kulusevski? I'd probably keep him because he's a great option for game week 38 anyway, and there's a chance he still plays. Start James or Laporte? I'd start James because he's just got the better attacking threat. Just going to have another look on Twitter, guys, see if we get any early team news. Just to recap, I think that there's multiple good captaincy options this week. In my opinion, though, if you've got all of the captaincy options in the world, if you're on your free hit, I would be captaining Danny Ings. I think Danny Ings is the top captaincy shout in my personal opinion. Right, there are like I said, there are multiple options you could go for. If I owned everyone, it'd be on Ings. That isn't to say that Ings is suddenly going to smash it. Again, I can't predict the future, but if I had full choice, I think he's the one. Outside of that, I think Richarlison, Vardy, Cash, Coutinho, all of these guys are good options. I would probably be on a double game week player. Not to say that I don't think Son's a fantastic option. I just think I always favour a double game weeker. Will Gomez start over Trent? Yeah, I think there's a good chance that Trent's benched. I think there's a good chance that we see both Gomez and Tsimikas starting and Trent and Robertson benched. Any news on the Laporte injury? Yeah, Laporte has been pictured in full training. So Laporte should be fine to start. If not, he should be fine for 38. Thoughts on Gordon, captain? I don't particularly like that, no. I just think there are so many other options with slightly better data. I don't dislike it. It's just not my favourite. Good morning, Ross. Which 3 Villa players would you choose? Definitely Cash, definitely Ings. And then that third spot would go to either Luca Dean or Coutinho. Do we know anything about Gaeta's injury? Is on my bench boost. Will he get a game? I haven't seen anything about it. I think there's a good chance Butland plays, to be honest. I haven't seen any news, unfortunately. Just go over onto Twitter and search for Gaeta. I'm sure something will come up. I haven't heard anything, though. Sorry. Vardy or Kane? I think it's going to be very, very close. If we get confirmation that Vardy starts, personally, I think Vardy's the one. I love that Watford fixture. I think Southampton's a good fixture as well. And he's got the extra fixture then against Chelsea. And he does perform in those big games, especially on the counter-attack. He can be absolutely fantastic. Veghorst Masterclass today. We could see it. Joined late. Is this a free hit? No, but it's amazing that you think that my team could be a free hit. I really appreciate that. That means that my team doesn't look that terrible. I did build an ideal free hit, by the way, guys. That's my ideal free hit. I'll just leave that on the screen for a second. If I were free hitting, it would be along the lines of that. It wouldn't necessarily be exactly that, but I don't think I'd make too many changes there. I think it would be along those lines. -8 this week. That's fine. Yeah, if you're asking if I'm taking a -8 this week, potentially. I'm already on a -4. I might take out Pookie for Vardy and make it a -8. What about Captain Mikalenko? I just don't think Mikalenko's got enough attacking threat, and the clean sheet potential I don't think is that good. So I think there are probably better options than Mikalenko. Buy Ings or Richarlison? I'd actually slightly lean towards Ings, but I think both are fantastic options. I think ideally you want both of them, but if you think Ings will start both, which I do, but obviously there's a chance he doesn't, I think maybe you go for Ings. But if you think there's a chance he doesn't, obviously Richarlison's more nailed on for minutes, and we know Richarlison will be on pens, whereas Ings could still potentially not be on pens. Who to start out of Alonso, James, and Mount? Currently starting Alonso and Mount. I'd start Mount for sure. And then it's just a toss-up between Alonso and James. Yeah, maybe I'd start Alonso just because he's got less competition at left wing-back. Raptor, free hit team and mine are ditto. I'm tinkering over Maddison to Coutinho and Luca Dean to someone else, though. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, that's a good option if you want to. You could go like Luca Dean to Castagna and then Maddison to Coutinho. You could switch up like that. I don't mind that at all. What's your thinking behind Cash Captain, trying to have a bit of fun at the end of the season? Or do you actually believe that he's better than Richarlison? I don't know who I'm going to captain at this stage. I might well end up captaining Vardy if I bring him in. I may still end up on Richarlison. I don't think there's a standout option this week. And in that case, I like the fact that Cash has clean sheet potential, and I like the fact that he's also got the potential for attacking returns as well. Richarlison or Zaha? Probably Richarlison for me. How badly do we think the final affects minutes in the upcoming game week? I don't think too badly for Chelsea. I think probably quite badly for Liverpool. I think we might see Mane, Robertson and Trent all miss out. But I don't know that. And I think it's very risky completely changing your team on the basis that you think there might be a little bit of rotation. So for me, I would probably just keep the players that you've got and hope that they start. Start Veghorst or Saka. I'd actually probably start Veghorst there. Is Watkins playing, Ross? There's rumours that he hasn't trained at all, and then there's rumours that he starts. There's absolutely no in between. I'm seeing everything all over the place. we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Hey, Ross, bench Saka or Nketiah? I'd bench Nketiah. Saka's on penalties. Nketiah's looked a little bit better recently, but the penalties would sway me, personally. Got exactly 5.9 million in the bank for one spot. Would you go Eze or Trossard? I'd probably go Trossard, to be honest. Unless you think Eze's going to start both, but I think there's a strong chance that he doesn't. How about Sterling as a punt? I don't talk about Sterling on this channel anymore. No, I'm joking. I think Sterling's fine as a punt if you think he's going to start, yeah. Any reason you're avoiding Palace defence? I'm not avoiding them. I just think none of them have attacking potential, really. So you're banking on clean sheets. And if you've got 2 or 3 options from the Villa and Everton attack, I guess you're banking on the fact that they'll score. Right, I'm going to end that captaincy poll. So it looks like the top captaincy choices this week, guys, if you're interested, looks like it will be Son and Richarlison. I'm just going to run another poll to see what you guys want me to do here. There you go. Just run a poll, guys. Let me know what you want me to do. Like I said, these streams are for you guys, so whatever you want me to do on stream. Do you want me to just continue answering your questions in the chat, or do you want me to jump over to Fantasy Football Scout and take a look at some underlying statistics to try and help you make some of your decisions? I'll let you guys decide. Oh, my voice cracked. I'll let you guys decide what you want me to do. Hey, Ross, which Liverpool midfielder gets minutes this game week? I think Jota and Diaz are probably the 2 most likely to get minutes this week. Leicester or Crystal Palace defender? Help. Crystal Palace, probably. Nketiah or Weghorst? Probably Weghorst. Appreciate the good advice, Ross. Good luck for this week, mate. Thank you very much, Dara. I appreciate that. Ings or Kane? It depends what your team looks like for 38, DJ Hammer. Unless you're on your free hit, I can't remember. I would probably lean towards Ings on free hit, Kane if it's for the next 2, just because you get the Norwich fixture in 38 for Kane. First choice forward this week is Ings for me, closely followed by Richarlison, closely followed by Vardy/Kane. FPL the Mac, thank you very much for the super chat, says Salah, Robertson and Havertz to Son, Coutinho and Luka Dean. Looks perfect to me, mate. Yeah, I can't see any issue with that. Unless can you afford cash, or have you already got cash? Luka Dean's just a slight risk, but his underlying data is very, very strong. Other than that, I think that's great. Also, just obviously be careful that for 38, you're bringing in Coutinho and Luka Dean, who've got pretty rubbish fixtures, whereas Robertson and Havertz have pretty nice fixtures. So just keep that in mind. We've got about an hour till the deadline, by the way, guys. So just make sure that you're comfortable with your team. Make sure you've got if you've activated your free, make sure it's actually active. If you've got your bench boost active, make sure you've actually activated that. Unpopular opinion. Okay, here it is. People prefer questions answered so that they can feel less responsible when their chosen players blank. Absolutely, yeah. Then they can say, Raptor, you told me to bring in this player. Yeah. Hey, Ross, I want you to do a brief Fantasypedia chances conceded analysis. I've already done that in the video, and you can find the tweet on their Twitter. I won't go over that again and again and again. Got a super chat from Murphy. Thank you very much for the super chat, my man. Sorted Salah and Kulusevski out for a -4 last night, okay? Is it worth Pookie to Richarlison for another -4 if it means benching Emerson/Alonso? I actually think so, yes, Murphy. That's a risk that I'd be happy taking. Depends on your rank, depends on how much you like hits, depends on whatever's going on, you know. I personally quite like that, to be honest. Yeah, I'd make that -4. Do we know what Nana Raptor's doing? Yeah, Nana Raptor's already tweeted what she's doing if you go over to her Twitter. She brought in Mane, Kane, and Zaha, and she's captained Zaha. So there you go. Nana Raptor's given Zaha the armband. I probably won't be captaining Zaha. His data's just not strong enough for me. Kane or Son captain. Depends on what you're trying to achieve. I actually think the fixture this week might suit Kane slightly more. But Son does like a goal against Burnley, doesn't he? So we'll have to wait and see. I just think with the fact that they've got injuries to their centre-backs, with the fact that they'll play probably a low block, I actually think that Kane might do fairly well this week. Ross Johnson asks, you house share with Pookie, Will Smallbone and Tyrone Mings. Someone's eaten your special edition lime-flavoured Jaffa cakes. Who's the culprit? That's got Tyrone Mings written all over it. He's an absolute brute, isn't he? Yeah. Tyrone Mings has eaten my lime-flavoured Jaffa cake. And the thing is, I'm not going to tell him I'm not going to tell him to to stop. So there you go. Julius says, Vardy or De Bruyne? Vardy for me. Wait, is it... Yeah, Vardy. Screw it, Vardy. Get the extra fixture. I've got a fixture against Watford. I'd go Vardy. Will satisfy your wishes online, has just commented in the chat. Is that your question? Just lots of emojis. And are you going to satisfy my wishes online? That's the real question. Bench Mount or Saka? I'd bench Saka. FPL Rainman says, Nana and Raptor, you guys made my season. Thank you so much, man. Give Nana a hug from a Norwegian fan. I will do. I'll give her a big hug next time I see her. Thank you very much, my man. Right. Will satisfy your naked wishes online. I'm going to have to just, ban you from the stream. Because, hide user on channel. There we go. You are gone from the stream. Apologies. Is Trossard a good option in the free hit team? Yeah, I think Trossard's fine. I think I'd rather go for double game week players such as Coutinho, such as Maddison and Zaha, but I don't mind that. Darshil has used his highlighted members chat. 8 months you've been a member. Thank you very much, man. Sell Laporte or Robertson? Oh, that's a difficult one. I'd actually... Oh, probably Laporte, but I like both of them for 30. I think both of them will start in 38, and I think they're both good 38, but there we go. Is Pookie Twings worth it for a -8? I already own Watkins. Yeah, sure, why not? It depends who you're benching, though, of course. Thoughts on Diaz? Yeah, I like Diaz as an option. I think there are some better double game week options, but I don't mind Diaz. Thanks for the stream, Ross. You're welcome, Alan. Which 4 teams are most likely to concede this week? Weakest defences. Watford, Norwich, maybe Leicester, which is why I've got Mount in there. Outside of that, maybe Leeds, so maybe go for a Brighton attacker. It's the teams at the bottom of the table, really. Norwich and Watford in particular like the teams to target, which is why I like the idea of having Vardy in my team for this week. Let me just check over on Twitter, make sure we haven't got any updated team news or anything. Let me see if we can see anything over on Twitter. I can't see anything yet. I really don't know who I want to put the armband on, guys. I might switch to Richarlison. I know it seems a little bit flaky. I don't know how much attacking threat Cash truly has. And at least Richarlison's on pens and he's going to start both. So for now, I want to bring in Vardy and captain him, but I just don't know if we're going to get any... Don't know if we're going to get any confirmation is the issue. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I really don't know who I want to put the armband on, to be honest. Cash is quite an exciting pick, but would I be surprised if Villa concede in both games? Not especially, right? Not especially. And that would just suck because then you're hoping for an attacking return. And again, Cash isn't attacking enough for me to want to rely on an attacking return. Really, you do need a clean sheet in there. And all Richarlison needs is 1 pen and he's matched Matty Cash. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. Thoughts on Ramsey? Yeah, I don't mind Ramsey as a pick, to be honest. It looks like he's going to play. I think he's back in training, so got every chance that he'll play. I think Gerrard said he's had like 3 or 4 training sessions, so he should be fine. Ings or Richarlison for the last 2 game weeks? Probably Richarlison if we're taking 38 into account, but I love Ings for game week 37 in particular. Decore currently in my free hit. What are your thoughts, Ross? Normally when someone asks me a question like that, I tell them no, and then they go on to smash it. I don't really like it particularly. What's the hype with Zaha? I don't think there's hype with Zaha. I just think he's a good, decent option with a double game week. Maddison instead of Zaha. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Don't mind that at all. Ross, don't you think Son wants to score past Salah so there's a high chance that he scores? I just don't understand that narrative as well at all. Surely everyone always wants to score. And just because someone wants to score doesn't mean they will. Right? Surely Salah has wanted to score in the last 10 game weeks and he's barely scored at all. Surely Saka wants to score. Like, everyone wants to score. I don't buy the narrative that just because someone wants to score, they're more likely to get attacking returns. So, no. I think there's a good chance that Son gets an attacking return, but I don't necessarily think that Son's the best captaincy option because he wants to score. Ross, you gorgeous man, are you on free hit this week? No, Wally, I'm not on free hit this week. This is my team, non-free hit. I used my free hits in 33 and 27. Lacazette wanted to score all year but couldn't. Yeah, exactly. There's no chance that Lacazette didn't want to score. I want to win FPL. Yeah, you want to win FPL, but you're probably not winning FPL. Just because we want something doesn't mean it will happen. How confident are you feeling ahead of this game week, Ross? This is one of the least confident weeks, I think. Yeah, I'm not feeling at all confident. I would be happy with a small green. I mean, at my rank, it doesn't really matter. Hopefully, I hang on to top 50k, but I'm not too stressed. My game week 38 team's even worse, though. So ideally, I need a decent week here because my 38 team's not looking great. If we just switch over to game week 38, this is my team as things stand, right? With the transfers, let's say I don't do the Vardy move because then I'll have 4.3. It says 4.2. I'll actually have 4.3 because I made the moves last night. Let me show you what the team will look like before any transfers. It's not terrible. Like, it's not in a terrible state, but it's obviously not ideal. So that's the way the team will look with no transfers. I'll be honest, I'm looking at maybe trying to get... If I don't make the Vardy move, it would probably be Kane in for Watkins. Right, let me just get that in there. I need to find 0.8 million. So it would probably then be Richarlison to Tony. So this is for a -4, by the way. This is the current plan for... I'd actually captain Kane, I think. Go for one. Maybe vice-captain Alonso. The team would look something like this for a -4 in game week 38. It's not terrible, but there are some key omissions. And like Laporte might not play. There might be a little bit of rotation with Alonso, Trent, Mount. Zaha against United isn't perfect. So there are a few less than ideal players in there. Obviously, if I bring Vardy in, it would look slightly different. I'd have Vardy where Kane is. And I'd probably then move on Tony and then maybe a player in the midfield, something like that. So it's not terrible, right? This is the way of my team. I look at this and I think, there's a chance that I get a couple of greens here. There's a small chance, right? I probably won't be able to keep up with free hitters, but those 2 weeks, they look all right. They look all right. So that's sort of along the lines of what I'm currently planning for 38. Is there any polls you guys want me to run in the chat, by the way? Let me know if there's any polls. Why not Kane in this week? I can't afford Kane in this week. I'm £0.8 million short of getting Kane in this week. Unless I take a -12, which just isn't going to happen. Zaha against United is inspired. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that he does fairly well, to be fair. Hi, Ross. A few weeks ago, I was 35k with you when we both wildcarded. With your guidance, I'm now 9k. Thanks for your help. There you go. I'm perfectly happy if at least some of the people that are watching me and following my advice do fairly well. So keep in that top 10k. Excellent work, my man. Well done, Martin. Best double game week midfielder poll. Yeah, we can do that. Best double game week midfielder poll. Who do you want in this poll? Best double game week midfielders. Zaha, Maddison. Who are the best double game week midfielders? Zaha, Maddison, Coutinho. Is there another option? Zaha, Maddison, Coutinho. Who's a fourth option we can chuck in there? I'm not going to put. I don't think I'll put Buendia because I think Coutinho is going to start at least one, if not both. I'm not sure that I'd be as keen on Buendia now. Gordon. Yeah, I guess Gordon. It's not very inspiring, is it? There you go. There's another poll for you to sink your teeth into. Yeah, Cornet's an interesting one, right? Let me quickly just jump over to this. This is minutes per expected goal involvement over the last 6 matches, right? Minutes per expected. This gives you an idea about how many minutes it takes someone to accumulate an expected goal involvement. So it gives you a good idea about attacking threat. Look at Cornet. Cornet's second on this list. Like, Cornet's doing it fairly well recently. 103 minutes per expected goal involvement. So if you are short on budget and you're looking for a decent option, it's Tottenham and Villa this week, and then they play Newcastle in game week 38. I don't mind Cornet as an option. And look at Antonio sneaking back in there as well. Zaha's obviously doing really well, but the reason Zaha's so highly ranked is because of those 2 penalties. Mahrez is doing fairly well. Salah in there. Torres still in there because that's his last 6 matches, isn't it? Werner, Mateta, Watkins, Ings, Raheem Sterling, Vardy, Pukki. Here are some options. Obviously, Trossard ranked decently on there as well. This is the thing. Saka's still putting up pretty decent underlying data, which is why I'm not too disheartened if I have to start Saka. So yeah, it's not too bad at all. But Cornet, the reason I just wanted to say that is Cornet's actually doing all right. If you want to pick Cornet. Got a super chat from RHM, but you didn't put a message in the chat, my man. So please just drop your message and I'll look out for your message. But yeah, you didn't give a message when you did your super chat. Saka against Newcastle does not sound very optimistic. I don't think it's a fantastic option, but I don't mind it. Make sure to vote on the poll in the chat, by the way. Also, make sure to drop a like on the stream. Make sure to please subscribe as well. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Obviously, weekly streams, weekly content as well. We've got at least 2 or 3 videos next week as well. We're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the season, so fingers crossed we can get there. It's going to be tight, but we can maybe do it. Newcastle's a fortress right now. Yeah, I don't expect many goals for... The thing is, if Saka gets 1 goal and he gets a couple of bonus, he could get as many as 10 points just with 1 attacking return. I don't mind Saka. I'm not as... Like, everyone else is desperate to sell Saka. I'm not necessarily sure that I'm in the same position there. Thoughts on Pickford captain? That's a brave call, I think. Right. FPL Villain has just said, Luca Dean ill rumours seem like trolling to me, wouldn't take any notice. Yeah, so I think it's people just trolling around different chats, different forums. I can't see personally anything anywhere which suggests that he's ill, right? Let me just chuck it. I think you're fine with Luca Dean. I think he's a fine option for this double game week. Captain Richarlison or Ings. I prefer Ings slightly, but I don't mind Richarlison. Watkins and Salah have scared me into a -12 beyond livid. Fair enough. I think there's a good chance Watkins starts both, but there you go. Is there any Vardy team news? We haven't got any Vardy team news yet, and I think there's a good chance we don't get any Vardy team news either. I still might be bringing in Vardy, I'll be honest. I probably won't captain Vardy if we don't get confirmation that he's fit. But I think there's a good chance I still end up bringing him in. Although the thing is, if I bring in Vardy, I don't get Kane next week. Whereas if I don't make the move this week, I can get Kane next week. So I might just... It's one of those where it's going to bite me either way, isn't it? If I don't make the move... I've got a feeling that we're potentially... It's going to be a situation where Vardy absolutely smashes it. And if I do bring in Vardy... Oh, yeah, I've just seen the super chat. I sent a super chat. You did, but there was no message attached to it. RHM. Drop your just regular message in the chat and I'll try and find it. You did the super chat, you didn't attach a message. So you need to attach the message next time, otherwise it's just a donation, which I appreciate. Drop it again. Ross, I'd say get Kane next week personally, mate. Yeah, maybe if we don't get confirmation on Vardy, maybe I'll leave it as it is with a -4 and I'll just go for Kane next week. I think maybe that's the play. I just have a good feeling about Vardy this week, but yeah, we'll see. I guess I could go for Vardy this week and Kane next week. But the thing is, if I own Vardy against Southampton at home, I'm not going to want to take Vardy out. But the thing is, Vardy could easily outscore Kane. I don't know. How long have I got? I've got 45 minutes to make my decision. So we're washing our hands of Salah for the last 2 games. Yeah, that's what I've done, mate. There's a good chance he plays, but I don't think he will. No early team news on anything yet. For game week 38, guys, there's a much, much better chance we get early team news because a lot of the games are obviously at the same time, that first early kickoff. As it is, the Tottenham game's like way before, isn't it? When is the Tottenham game? The Tottenham game is at 12, whereas the next set are at 2. So that's why we might struggle to get early team news here. We'll have to just wait and see. I'm still hopeful that Sam's going to pull through. Still hopeful. Stefan says, hey man, love your channel. Thank you very much, Stefan. I appreciate the support. I got Mount and James. What are the chances they play? I think there's a good chance they both play. I'm not sure I feel comfortable benching Mount at the moment. He just looks really good, and I think Leicester are probably quite leaky at the back. I'd start them both unless you have better options. I wouldn't be selling either. And if they do miraculously miss out, they should be set to start against Watford at home on the final day. So I think you keep them and you start them. If you desperately don't want to start them, maybe put them on the bench. But I wouldn't be selling either of them personally. Do you guys think I should do the Vardy move for an extra -4? What's your opinion on it? What's your opinion on making the Vardy move? I would end up... I'd probably keep my captaincy on Richarlison if we don't get the team news. So it's Saka plus 4 points versus Vardy. Do we think Vardy outscores Saka by 4 points or more? And is it worth losing out on Kane in the final game week? You said you dropped your message. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I found it. Need to make up 70 points in my mini league. Who to captain? Vardy, Zaha, Cash, Son, or Luke Dean? If you need to make up 70 points, RHM, I wouldn't do Son, just because he's going to be fairly highly owned anyway, and it's probable that your mini league rivals own him. I would captain whoever your mini league rival doesn't own to try and get the most possible gain. So out of Vardy, Zaha, Cash, and Luke Dean, whoever your mini league rivals, whoever's above you in your mini league doesn't own, I'd captain that player. With respect to who I just think is the best option, I think if Vardy starts, I think it's Vardy there. Hi, Ross. Loving your book, mate. What's these Twitter rumours of Luke Dean being ill? Thank you for enjoying the book. There's nothing to it. You're fine. I think it's just people trolling. Oh, gonna have to just reset my camera, guys. Apologies. I'll try and sort this for next season, but I've got no idea why it does it, to be honest. Is Watkins fit? God knows. We'll have to wait and see. No to Vardy, definitely go for it. Don't do it. Nah. It seems everyone's a bit... no one's sure on the Vardy. I don't really know at this stage. I'll try and decide in the next sort of half an hour. Luke Dean playing just one makes him less appealing, True Fandela. I don't think he's going to play... I think he'll play both. I just think there's a chance that Ashley Young plays both. One. Like I said, that isn't to say that... That isn't to say that I don't think he will. I'm just saying that the chance is there. But like FPL Villain said, there's a good chance that he plays both. And apparently Ashley Young might be given a new contract. He might be staying with Villa. If that is the case, then of course there's a good chance that he doesn't get like a final farewell and that he just stays on the bench. If I had to put money on it, I would say both Cash and Luke Dean start both games. Remember, Young isn't really a left back. Yeah, he is now, though. He played left back for many a season for Manchester United, and he's played there quite a few times for Aston Villa. So I don't think that really matters. I don't think that necessarily impacts it. Someone said, "Did you see what FPL Villain said about Danny Ings?" I can't see anything he said about Danny Ings. He said that he thinks Ings will start both, as far as I can see. Hi Ross, loving your content. Based on your team, Zaha starts in game week 38. What transfers do you plan in game week 38? I just did that. I'll very, very briefly show you because you asked so nicely. Those moves. It's bringing in Tony and Kane. So the team would look like this for 38. I'll obviously have loads of videos next week on this stuff. So we'll discuss it in more detail in next week's videos. But that would be along the lines of it. So I'm pretty happy with that team in 38. I think obviously the bench isn't particularly strong, but it would actually be like that, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's what the team would currently probably look like in 38. Obviously, if I have Vardy in there, then instead it looks more like that. Right, so if I do bring in Vardy this week, the team would look something along the lines of that. And then I might end up maybe bringing out Laporte for Reece James, if I really fancy attacking that Watford fixture. If Reece James is rested against Leicester, maybe I'll bring in Reece James for the Watford. Because I just think that's a Reece James monster haul written all over it, if he starts, of course. Got a super chat from Matthew Turnbull, but you didn't attach a message, my man. I'll look out for your name. You don't have to send another super chat. You've already done it once. Just send your message in the chat and I'll look out for it because it didn't attach again on the super chat. FPL Villain said Ings tends to get subbed off at 70. Should I still captain? Yeah, it's fine. We knew this already. There's no shock here. Matthew Turnbull, right? Free hit. De Bruyne or Mane? I would be slightly worried of a Mane rest, to be honest. So I would go De Bruyne or Diaz/Jota. Obviously, if Mane starts, he's a great option, but I just think he's played so many minutes recently. Played another 120, missed a penalty. I think there's a good chance Mane gets a little rest and we see like a Firmino, Diaz, Jota front three. I think Kane could haul next game week. Yeah, I think so as well. I think I'm going to captain Kane if I bring him in. Sticking with Watkins or likely transferring out. I'm not going to transfer Watkins out. Unless we get confirmation that he's out, Watkins is staying for me. Holgate and Zaha or Mikalenko and Trossard. Probably go Holgate. Probably go Holgate and Zaha. Get an extra fixture in there. Let's have a look if we've got any other news. Doesn't look like we're going to get the Vardy news. I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to go for the Vardy move, to be honest. If I don't want Vardy in 38, I can still do Vardy to Kane, right? I still have that possibility. I just think it's an exciting pick. Like I said, I'm trying to have fun with it. For me, keeping Saka isn't particularly fun. Bringing in Vardy, I like it. Whether I give him the armband or not, I'm not entirely sure. But I think I am leaning towards doing the Vardy move. Polkit says, Tavares to Mikalenko for a hit and then bench Alonso. Or Saka to Zaha/Maddison for a hit. Salah to Son has freed up money, wants to do something with it, but don't know what. I quite like Saka to Zaha or Maddison, to be honest. I think that's a slightly more attacking play. Who's the better punt in 38? Zaha with United at home or Maddison with Southampton at home? I think that decides my transfer for this week. To be honest, I think they're very similar. Very similar. So that's why I went for Zaha, just because he's on penalties as well, Frosty. I think that Southampton and United have both been pretty poor defensively. And both teams are massively on the beach. So Salah, Havertz, Pookie out for Kane, Zaha, and Maddison. Yeah, I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Any credibility to the Schmeichel being benched for Ward rumours? I haven't seen that at all. No, not unless Sam says something. No, I haven't seen anything yet. Hi Ross, how many points are you hoping for? Thank you for the super chat. I would hope for 70 to 80. A few double game week players. I'm not expecting to. After what happened in 36, my expectations are quite low at the moment. Vardy captain. I might end up doing it. Bench 2 out of James, Mount, Saka, Nketiah, and Trent. Bench 2 of them. I'm not going to lie, I would be tempted by Nketiah and Saka. Maybe Nketiah and James. I think I would be starting Mount and Trent. And then, as I clearly am in my team. And then maybe one of Saka and James. I'd probably bench Nketiah. Newcastle just look really solid and he's not on penalties, so there we go. Vardy or Kane transfer. I'm stuck with Kane's good fixture with Burnley and Vardy's double game week. I think when you take into account 37 and 38, it's pretty much a 50-50 split. When you look at just 37, I prefer Vardy, to be honest. But that Norwich fixture is so nice for Kane in 38. I realise the huge difference in price, but would you rather bring in KDB for single game week or Vardy for his double? I prefer Vardy. I'm a bit of a sucker for double game week though, Gabriel. So probably KDB's the smart pick, but I love double game weeks, and I think that fixture against Watford if he starts is good. Very tempted to bring in Kane against Burnley with no me and Tarkowski. Yeah, if Tark is out, then their defence looks pretty weak, doesn't it? Anyone know how injured Laporte actually is? Laporte was pictured in full training, so I don't think he's injured at all now. I think he's fine. Ross, please help. Sold Salah for Son. I'm not sure what other transfer I want to do. Should I say... I don't know. I haven't seen your team. I don't know what your rank is. It completely depends on about 50 different factors that I don't have information for there. Sorry. Pocket says, how did the bone cancer research contribution work out? Good. £350 we ended up donating. YouTube didn't end up paying all of the money from the stream for some reason. They ended up taking a bigger chunk than they say they should. Couldn't get through to anyone. I paid the full $350 though. So don't worry. Bone Cancer Research UK got the full £350 from our live stream, which is absolutely amazing. Got 30 minutes till the deadline, guys. So not long left now at all. In the next 15, I'll decide on the Vardy move. Is Watkins available? Should be available. I don't know if he's going to start the first one, but if he doesn't, hopefully he should be fine to start the second one. So we should know by then. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, guys, make sure to make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Like I said, we're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the season. It's going to be very, very close, but every single subscriber will help. Hi, Ross, just made it. I'm unsure if I should get Coutinho or Jota on my free hit. I prefer Coutinho, Clive. Hey, mate, do you reckon Trent gets a rest on Tuesday? Yeah, I do, Marcus. I think he will. I'm still going to play him just in case, but I think there's a good chance. Is Mount going to start? God knows. Hopefully, he either starts or doesn't feature at all. The good thing for me this week is that I have a strong bench. Alonso, Pookie, and Laporte, especially the fact that Laporte has been pictured in training. If I do need my bench, I should be fine. Like I said, I could end up bringing in Vardy anyway, in which Saka will be my first sub, which is even stronger. Maddison or Zaha? Probably lean towards Zaha just about, but I think Maddison's a fantastic option as well. That's a pretty close 50-50 for me, but just due to the fact that he's on penalties, I just about prefer Zaha. I always forget to like the stream. This is why I remind people, it's not to be annoying, it's just that people genuinely do sometimes. Hi Ross, what's the logic behind your Cash captaincy? I've moved the armband off Cash, but I think he's a very exciting pick because he's got clean sheet potential and he's also got attacking return potential. But yeah, the issue is that his attacking threat isn't that great, so there might be better options. Chris says just subscribe. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate that. I'm just going to take my jacket off, getting a bit hot. 2 seconds. And I am back. Is Kulusevski available? I don't actually know the latest news at this stage. There was a worry that he wasn't fit because he was ill, but I don't know at this stage if that illness is continued, how he feels this morning, etc. We'll have to wait and see. Got another super chat from Trifandella. To be honest, I'm thinking about taking a punt on Vardy on my free hit and go this front three without Kane after all. Vardy, Ings and Richarlison. So last question, pick two, Ings, Kane, Richarlison. I think if I run a free hit, Trifandella, I would be on Ings, Vardy, and Richarlison. I'd go for the three doubles, and I would leave out Kane for this week. There's a good chance Kane smashes it. I'd just go for the three doublers because assuming they play all the games, you're getting a minimum 12 points there from your strikers altogether, obviously. So I would probably go Vardy, Ings, Richer. Yeah, that would be my front three. Watkins or Ings on free here? I'd go Ings. Would you rather KDB or Kane for the final two? I'd rather Kane for the fixtures. Oh, I'm thinking about taking a -4 for Havertz to Zaha, which means I bench Mount. Feels like a good move to attack the last two. Lets me go Coutinho to Foden next week. I don't mind that at all, Frosty. I think you're fine there. I mean, I quite like Mount for this week if he starts, but like I said, there's a good chance that he doesn't. And obviously Zaha is a better option than Mount. Cash captain is so tempting. The potential to grab 20 points from him and wrap up many leagues. Yeah, look at this. This is what you're hoping from Matty Cash, right? If we just no, yes, there. If we just, sorry, I got screens everywhere. Look at this run here. Like, obviously, it's not going to happen every single time, but in the space of 3 weeks here, Cash got a 14, 11, and 18 pointer. So he has it in. He has it in him. Obviously, this was an actual double game week, right? So game week 28 was the double. He got 29 points. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but you know at least with Cash that he has that in his locker, that he can get those monster hauls. So this 29 pointer is what you're hoping for again with Cash. Recently, he has got some back-to-back 6 pointers, but you can see here, his points outside of that this season, they've not been remarkable. We got a 15 pointer in game week 5. And then you got those 3 monster hauls back to back to back. Outside of that, it's just been a little bit disappointing. Richarlison, though, if you look at Richarlison again, if you picture any of these as some double game weeks, again, Richarlison's not done a great deal. Richarlison just feels like a really boring, like, maybe like 11 pointer max. I don't think you're getting a great deal from Richarlison. I don't think you're getting a great deal from anyone, to be honest. Like, when you look at their look at Watkins' points. He hasn't scored double digits since game week 17 was the last time Watkins got a double digit. Like, none of these options are particularly inspiring. To be honest, it probably is Sonny. Like, Sonny, I understand why you want to captain Heung-min Son for that reason. Even Mason Mount feels a little bit more explosive than some of these options here. Zaha's obviously got some double digit hauls in it, but it's massively skewed by penalties. I don't know who I want to captain, to be honest. I want to captain Vardy. I'm probably going to bring in and captain Vardy. I'm hoping we get some sort of news, though. Let's have another look over on Twitter. See if we've got anything. Oh, I don't think Sam's going to pull through, unfortunately. Oh. Don't think he's going to have the team news. I still think there's a good chance Vardy starts. I still think there's a good chance Vardy starts. Got a super chat from Banazar. Says, would you do Mount to Zaha for a -4? Separately, would you bring in Ings -4 to bench Saka? I'm not sure about the Mount to Zaha for a -4, considering game week 38 this week. I'm pretty sure that pays off for you. But when we look at 38, I massively prefer Mount there. Ings for a -4 to bench Saka, I like that a little bit more. So maybe yes to the second set, no to the first set. Thank you for getting rid of thank you for getting rid of those messages, mods. I appreciate that. Don't know why they're desperate to spam the chat. Hey Ross, you missed my super chat above whilst checking Twitter. Sorry, mate. Let's have a look. Current free hit: Pickford, Cash, Luka Dean, Mikalenko, Son, KDB, Madders, Zaha, Kane, Ings, Richarlison. Swerving Liverpool mids. Yeah, I don't mind that. Views. Is there anyone that I think you're missing? No, mate, I think you're good. I think you're good to go. I would be slightly tempted by Vardy. Outside of that, I think you're fine. So no, I think you're fine, mate. I really like that free hit team. Frederick says, I prefer to have Vardy and he plays only versus Chelsea than not having him at all. Yeah, to be honest, I don't even mind if he does get 20, 30 minutes off the bench against Watford and plays Chelsea. It's just that it is for a hit and it is to bench Saka. Obviously, if Saka gets anything, then he's going to have to get some sort of mega haul just to make up the hit. Everyone is hyping up Maddison and Vardy. Is there no love for Harvey Barnes? Do you think he starts both? I think he only starts one, personally. I think there's a good chance Lookman starts. They've got Daka and Iheanacho as well. It's a slight risk there. I think Maddison and Vardy are the more nailed ones. Shall I do it, guys? Shall I just do the Vardy move? Should we just fully do it? Fully send it for the penultimate game week of the season? I'm going to make the move, and as I make the move, we're going to see Sam Martin tweet that he's benched. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to do it. I spoke about... I love this, just the conflicting don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I'll make the move at 20 past. I'm not waiting any later, just in case there is a bit of a website server delay or anything. I've spoken about trying to enjoy the final 2 game weeks, and for me, Vardy is an exciting move. It will make me enjoy the game week. I like the fact that we have the potential for an exciting captaincy that not a lot of people will do. Not a lot of people will own Vardy, and even those that own him, I think will be put off the fact that we don't have news that they might end up not captaining him. So I just think it's a mega differential. And like I said, I'm 30, what am I, 37 or 38k? Is that what I am? Does anyone know what rank I am? 38k. What have I got to lose, to be honest? It's not the end of the world. It's a game meant for us to be to enjoy. We're meant to enjoy FPL. And yeah. True Fandela, god damn it, last minute question. Diaz, Mane, Maddison or Zaha? Zaha, Maddison, Diaz, Mane would be my options. I'd go for the double game week because you're on a free hit. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Wait till 10:25. I'll wait till like 10:22, 3 to make the move. Answer my question, please. There's so many questions. I'm not deliberately ignoring anyone's questions, guys. I'm just answering whatever one's... The shorter the question, the more likely I am to answer it. Should I captain Vardy? Yeah, why not? Vardy's only 0.3% owned in the top 10k. Yeah, that'll probably shoot up this week. I reckon he'll be about 8 to 10% this week, but that's still you're getting 200% points if you captain him. So Andre says wait until 10:35. No, stop trying to ruin my game week. Free hit team, please. Yeah, we spoke about free hit team already. We've done that. This would be my free hit team. This one. No, that one. This one. That's what I would be going along the lines of for free hit. Free hit 37. I'd probably be 1 minute to talk Alonso versus Cancelo. Cancelo all the way, surely. More chance for clean sheet, and he's more nailed on, isn't he? What about Mateta? Mateta's fine. I wouldn't include Mateta on a free hit, and I wouldn't buy Mateta, but if you have him, I'd start him. Gordon would be the best differential. He has home advantage. I would love nothing more than Gordon to finally start scoring goals. But I'm not particularly confident. Any news on Watkins? Nothing. Apparently, a few rumours that he's not trained at all, and then there's a few rumours that he's definitely starting. Can you see how many people have transferred in Vardy this week? Yeah, we can. It is. So you could just go on the site, by the way. You can just go to transfers in per round. Oh, you're not. It's going to be off the screen for you guys. It's just off the screen. Vardy's been transferred in by 192,000 managers. Son has been transferred in by 408,000. Zaha by 364,000. So Vardy's not even one of the most transferred in. He's one of the most transferred in strikers. But Nketiah, Ings, and Richarlison have all been transferred in by more managers. I reckon Vardy's ownership will be like between 5 and 10% in the top 10k, top 100k. Personally. Should we just send it then? Should we just do it? I'm going to get it in there. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. What are we saying? What are we saying? Did I miss any super chats or anything? That would be fine. Do it. Game's about having fun. It is. I'm probably going to do it. I'm just going to wait just in case. Like I said, if we get something from... If you do the Vardy move, I'll captain Maddison so we're both in the Leicester boat. Oh, that's tempting. I'm probably going to do it. I'll probably captain Vardy just to give you a little nod. Hopefully I'm showing you the way. This is the way the game should be played. And it's not even at the detriment. My rank's fine. Like this game is about taking it with a positive attitude, making decisions, having fun with it, and still making like it's still a sensible decision. Captaining, bringing in and captaining Vardy. It's just that if he doesn't start the Watford game, it could be a bit of a disaster. Of course, because it means he'll start the Chelsea game. And then if he starts the Chelsea game, is he benched against Southampton? So it could just be a spiraling effect of this just wasn't a good transfer. But at the end of the day. Just checking Twitter, guys, see if we get anything else. There are loads of people suddenly on Twitter that are giving early team news that I've absolutely never heard of. All right, so be careful. There are people just randomly guessing what they think is going to happen in like with who's going to start. So only trust accounts that have got stuff right before or that you trust yourself. Ings captain is maximum fun. Yeah, if I had a better team for Game Week 38, I would bring in and captain Ings. My team's a mess, so at least Vardy has a decent fixture in 38. I've captained Vardy, why not? Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? I don't know that I've ever made a transfer on the stream. I normally make my transfers before the stream. Foden or Mount? Probably... This week, I probably prefer Foden. I think he's more nailed on start. But Game Week 38, I prefer Mount. If this is on like a free hit, then Foden. But across the next two, I actually think Mount, just because that 38 fixture for Mount is so tasty, in my opinion. Hello, Ross. Should I keep Watkins? Yeah, I'd keep Watkins. There's a few rumours that Watkins is going to start. Even if he doesn't, he should play the Burnley game. So, yeah. Is Watkins out? Not definitely. Is Ings a good shout on free hit? I think he's a good shout anyway. Like I said, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please make sure to drop a like on the stream. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit 15,000 subscribers before the end of the season. So your subscription will massively help the channel and hopefully push us towards the 15,000. Jota or Diaz? I think Jota, actually, I might be tempted to take a punt on. Rumours of Kulusevski out. Yeah, Kulusevski's was ill yesterday. I'll be honest, I think Kulusevski will probably start, but I don't know that for certain. I'll have to wait and see. Can't see any early team news. Oh, I was really hoping Sam was going to get early team news. Oh, well. You win some, you lose some. Right, I'll wait like I think I'm going to make the Vardy move, by the way. I'm just going to wait 3 or 4 minutes just in case he tweets to say Vardy's benched against Watford. Then I will not want that. Make transfers, click. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Mane over KDB on free hit. I'd be slightly worried that Mane is going to get his rest that he's probably due. So maybe not. Maybe I'd be looking more at KDB or Diaz or Jota. Jota or Vardy. I prefer Vardy. Luca Dean news. Luca Dean looks fine. Looks like he's going to start. I don't know what news you're looking for. Luca Dean's absolutely fine. Start Ramsey or Saka. Ramsey for me. Start the doubler. Luca Dean, Mikalenko or Sessegnon. Luca Dean. Ings versus Richarlison for captain. I'd probably stick it on Ings. Hi, Ross. Would you start Saka or Rudiger? Saka. Hi, Ross. Have you played a free hit this week? No, this is a non-free hit team. I've got no free hits left. Make sure you lock in your transfers soon, as I will be doing. We've got about 10 minutes left until the deadline. And then, I know you guys love it. There's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour of the Philosoraptor part of the stream, where we just talk about all sorts of nonsense. So don't leave. Don't leave after the deadline, because this is when the stream starts getting good. Weghorst to Richarlison from -4. I actually quite like Veggie for this week, so no, I'd probably keep Weghorst. Team minus 10 minutes. Get those lineups in, yeah. Get those teams sorted. Please, Sam Martin, just give me the confirmation that I need. I know Andy's desperately looking for Jamie Vardy news as well, and Madison news. Can see him all over Twitter as well. Zaha or Coutinho, Ross? For the next two, Zaha. Just for 37, I actually really like Coutinho. How are you lining up with Vardy? I'll let you know in about 2 minutes when I make the transfer. The Philosoraptor is the highlight of the stream. Yes, love to hear it. Rossi, Ings or Vardy captain? Oh, my bloody camera will be the death of me. Probably Ings for security of starts, and I just say Ings. I obviously don't own Ings, so I'm probably gonna go for Vardy. King Sight with the highlighted message says, "Hi Ross, good luck to you, everyone, and Eddie to Vardy or Saka / Kulusevski to Zaha or Ramsdale to Martinez. I can only do 2 of them. I like the Eddie to Vardy move and then Saka to Zaha, probably, if you're going to make 2 of those moves. Bench Alonso or Mount? I'm currently benching Alonso personally. Cash captain. Yeah, I think Cash is an absolutely fine captaincy shout. I don't mind that at all. Do not mind that at all. Do you think Coutinho starts both? I do now, yes, I do. I don't know that for certain. He could quite easily miss the Burnley game. I think there's a good chance that he plays both, though. Is Kevin De Bruyne a good captaincy option? I think there are better captaincy options, but I don't mind him for sure. Can you do a captain poll? We've already done a captain poll earlier on the stream. It was Son and Richarlison are the 2 top captaincy options. Son was the clear favourite, though. So you're captain in Vardy if you get him. Yeah. Yeah, so Sam's not going to get anything. Right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me... Hello, there I am. You can see my face to do it. So we're going to do it. So I've already taken a -4 just to recap to bring in Zaha and Son for Havertz and Salah. We're going to do one final -4 to get Captain Vardy in. Pookie to Vardy. Boom. Here we are. So it's for Saka. Sort out the team like that. Make captain. Make vice captain. Save your team. Here we go. Here we go. Just take a screenshot of that for the old tweet for the old Twitter. Twitteroony. Right. Right. What do we think? We did it. We did it. Love it. Hope Vardy works out. Captain too. Love to see it. Just want to refresh, make sure that actually went through and I've got my captaincy sorted. That bench just looks like it could be an absolute state. Saka, Alonso and Laporte. Yeah, I'm not feeling great about the bench, I'll be honest, but listen, I think the options in my team are probably better at this stage. My team looks good, apart from obviously being on a -8. The team's looking really strong. Let me just... bang, 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 bang. Will Ings start both of the matches? I think Ings will, but that's not 100% set, obviously. Ings or Richarlison captain, I would be going for Ings. Diaz, Jota or Mane on free hit. Probably Jota, actually. I really like Jota as an option, to be honest. Bench Trent for Matip or James. Maybe for James. I'd probably just play Trent, to be honest. Who should I bench? Trent, Cancelo or James? Probably just about James, but... To be honest, James has been so attacking recently. If he plays right wing back again, he could be a fantastic option. Right, let me just 2 seconds, guys. Just going to tweet this out before the deadline. So I know some people won't watch the stream, but they want to know my team. Game week 37. Team lock. Sorry. Not ideal tweeting on a stream. Let me answer questions. Why do you choose Mount over Saka? I just think that if they both play, I prefer Mount as an option here. Barnes or Maddison? I prefer Maddison personally, in my opinion. So just to recap my moves, by the way, Son, Zaha, and Vardy in for Salah, Havertz, and Pukki, right? Havertz to... God, what am I doing? Havertz to Zaha. And is Kulusevski starting? We still don't have news on Kulusevski. There's loads of people tweeting all sorts of stuff. I don't think anyone actually knows, to be honest. So we'll have to wait and see there. And then Pukki to Vardy. Vardy cap. This is quite exciting having Vardy captain. See, I'm excited for the week. This is the way FPL should be. You should be excited for the upcoming game week. All right. Kulusevski definitely not in the squad. I didn't see. I haven't seen any definite news there. There are a few people that are tweeting that. Of course, that could be correct. Like, we just don't know here. Right, bang. Here we go. Vardy captain, 38k, Salah to Son, Havertz to Zaha, Pukki to Vardy. Good luck, everyone. Cool. Sorry about that, guys. Right, back. We've got 2 minutes till the deadline. Make sure you are locking in your teams. All right, 2 minutes till the deadline. Please lock them in. I'm just going to refresh mine and make sure mine is absolutely locked in as well. I think we're good to go. I'm not sure about the bench order. I think I've got that right, but I'm sure I will have points on the bench regardless. Here you go. There's my tweet if you want to go like it. Why are there so many bloody bots spam in the chat? Right. 1 minute till the deadline, guys. Please make sure you get your teams locked in. Start Salah. Yeah, I'd start him if you have him. Ings a decent captaincy shout. Yep, for sure. Team news and ticks posted now. What did he post? Ah, bloody Schmeichel's benched. Okay, I'm going to have to keep it as is, I think. Do I play Foster? I'm not going to make another move. I'm going to leave it as it is. That's not ideal. So it looks like Schmeichel's benched. I'd take Schmeichel out on your free hit if you can still access the site. It's too late to make a move now. I don't know why he's tweeted that so late. He's definitely not just got that news, has he? I think we're probably locked anyway, guys. Probably locked. Not ideal, to be honest, but hey-ho. Yeah, if you own Schmeichel, not ideal. Not ideal at all. Free hitters definitely in the best position there, I think. Link the leak, please. It's too late now. He just said that he thinks there'll be a surprising goal. I don't think it's Foster time because I think I think he'll play against Chelsea, Schmeichel. I don't think Schmeichel's going to be injured or anything, as far as I know anyway. No, I think it'll basically be we're going to have Schmeichel against Chelsea, which is far from ideal. Right. That is that. By the way, if you're going to leave the stream now, if that's all you're interested in, please do drop a like on the stream. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. However, I'm going to be continuing to stream. This is called the Philosoraptor segment, where we talk about everything non-FPL, and we just have a bit of a chat. Captain to Madison, someone hold me. Love it, my man. Hopefully Vardy batter hopefully Leicester batter Watford. Hopefully they both start to start with. I am slightly worried that the fact that Rodgers has benched Schmeichel, is he going to go weak everywhere? Right? Is he just going to field an absolutely terrible squad? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Right, well, the deadline's gone now. Okay, Kulusevski's arrived with the squad, by the way, guys. So if you've got Kulusevski, you should be fine. Which is good. I've just linked the tweet there. Yeah, cheers, Joe. Thanks for sending that across. I appreciate it. Let's have, to be honest, if Vardy's benched, he's benched. You know what I mean? It's not you know, it's a game. It's FPL. Sit back and let the game week happen to you, lads. Exactly. We've made our decisions now. It is what it is. Let's wait and see. Super 6 predictions. I don't really do Super 6. I don't do any gambling. I know it's not gambling particularly, but I don't do any sort of prediction stuff like that, really. We can go through and try and predict the Premier League results in a bit. Oh, my God. These bots are absolutely ridiculous. Just go away. Why are they spamming an FPL live stream about finding girls even in the... Ridiculous. Right. So this is the Philosoraptor segment. So if you've got any questions about anything you want to ask me, probably only go for about half an hour, to be honest. But any questions, I'm always happy to do my best to try and give some insightful wisdom, or just to answer questions about different things and elements. FPL is just a game. Enjoy it, and ranks will come sooner or later. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They know us FPL. Look at... This is getting ridiculous. They're creating new accounts, by the way, because I'm banning each account every single time. These are just new accounts popping up and up. Thanks. Yeah, if you're a mod, can you just deal with this? Because I can't be bothered to keep responding to banning all of these bots that are trying to... We have one time 18 plus dates. Just no, stop it. The thing is that they're not even putting links in the chat because they can't put links in the chat. All right? It's ridiculous. Oh. Sorry, just checking on Twitter, making sure nothing else has changed. Thanks, Ross, for the superb content all season. Toffees fan kid. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel all season, P Macca. What would be your dream front three this week if on a free hit, by the way? It would be Vardy, Richarlison, and Ings. So they wouldn't be very different. I'd just switch out Watkins for Ings. What's your opinion on determinism? That is a great question. I don't buy it personally. I mean, I haven't studied philosophy in ages. It's the idea that no one's ever truly makes like a free will decision and that it's determined based on past events, and you can't choose any number of options, correct? You're choosing one option. I'm not sure I buy determinism personally. We need Andre head of security here. I don't know where Andre's gone. He's literally, this is his one job, is to be head of security, and he's left. Ross, hoping for my first green arrow in 9 game weeks. Yeah, I've had a bit of a rough time, to be honest. Schmeichel benched. Yeah, Schmeichel sounds like he's been benched, yeah. It's not ideal. Not ideal at all. Klopp or Pep? Who's the best manager? Klopp. What's this about Schmeichel being mentioned? Basically, one of the in-the-know accounts tweeted that there's going to be a shocking goal for Leicester today. It's not ideal. Was Trossard a good option? Yeah, I think Trossard was a fine option. I captained Zaha, so did Nana Raptor. Best of luck with that. What about nihilism? I think it's a bit morbid, isn't it? I don't think life's meaningless. I'm not interested in FPL. I'm only here for the girls. There's not going to be many girls here, unfortunately. But there we go. I think I can find that out for you. It's pretty hilarious. Obviously, YouTube give you your the demographics of the people that watch you. Let me find it out. I've got 97.5% of the people that watch my content are male. 2.5% are female, which is great. Right? At the start of the season, that was like 0.3. So 2.5% of the people that watch me are female, 97.5% male. With respect to the countries, 31.5% from the UK. All right, so big up the UK, a third of my audience. Then the next one is all the way down at 4.4% is the US. So big up if you're from the US. We've then got India also at 4.4%. So India and the US are tied in second place. Then we've got Malaysia, Ireland are the next two. Norway, Australia, South Africa, Singapore, Thailand. That's pretty much the top one. So realistically, my top three are by some distances UK, then closely followed by the US, India, Malaysia. I don't know if you were at all interested in that. You probably couldn't care less, but there you go. Basically, the reason that came about is that there are no girls here. What? Why are they continuing to spam everything in the chat? Schmeichel with the big clean sheet and double penalty save versus Chelsea. A man can dream. A man can dream. Great watching your stream. Thank you very much. Informative. I only started watching you recently. I'm relatively new in FPL. Been playing since last year. I like your analytical take, backed with data, all the best reps. So thank you very much. And welcome to FPL and welcome to the channel as well. The best way to pull ladies is to show them a top 10k FPL rank. Absolutely. In the middle of a club, walk up to a girl. None of that smooth talk. Just whip out your phone. Show them your rank history. She'll see 8,765 and that'll be that. You don't even have to say anything. Just show her that. Also, another way to get the ladies, show them all of your Twitter followers as well. I'm sure they will be absolutely very, 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 very attracted to someone that has lots of Twitter followers on a fantasy football account. It's a known fact that the ladies love fantasy football. So there you go. I took out Richarlison last second for Vardy. That is risky. That is risky. I hope he starts versus Watford. Represent India, Japan. New Zealand and Japan were quite low down. High from Norway. Yeah, Norway did. Let me have a look at... I can get back up some of the countries that you guys are asking. It's basically, after the UK, it's split between like a couple of percent. It's very, very international, to be fair. Yeah, Japan's not anywhere near. Japan's not even on my list. So Japan's not there. What was the other ones you guys were asking for? Sweden. Yeah, Sweden's there, just a little bit lower down. Malaysia's pretty good. New Zealand is... New Zealand's 0.5%. So New Zealand's not particularly high. This is in the last 28 days. If we go lifetime... No, it's still pretty low, to be fair, New Zealand, guys. So you are one of the few guys that are repping from New Zealand. Guys or girls, I should say. The mods army got you. Yeah, thank you for dealing with that, mods. Hi, Ross. How do a football fan not let bad results have a negative impact on their mental health and private life? It's very similar to FPL, to be honest. You just got to learn to dissociate that it's not tied to the enjoyment of your life. And I know this is a strange thing to say as someone that is a big football fan and a big FPL fan. It's not going to affect your FPL life. If Manchester United lose 15 games in a row and get relegated, that doesn't affect my everyday life. Does it affect the amount of money I have available to me? Does it affect my family's health? Does it affect the way I'm living? Does it affect my diet, sleep? No, it shouldn't. Like, these are independent. FPL and football should be seen as an additive to your life. It should try and add some value to your life. It should not affect the way that you function. And it doesn't. It really doesn't. So, like, it's those statements that I've spoken about for a while. In 4 years' time, am I going to be worried about the fact that Manchester United lost a game week 38 fixture? No. Am I going to be worried that I got a massive red arrow in game week 30? No. These aren't things that are going to affect us in the future, and we need to try and dissociate the impact of these things and these games on our everyday life. I'm going to do a massive video on mental health and fantasy football. So wait and see. Is FPL Rosh reliable? No, there are loads of accounts that have got absolutely no reliability, just randomly guessing. It always happens at the end of the season. It happened last season, the season before. At the end of the season, people just go absolutely crazy and just create accounts and guess. And of course, some of them will get it right, and then they'll say, look, I'm reliable. They're just making 50-50 guesses. Whether Luka Dean and Vardy are going to start or not, these are just guesses. So no. Ahmed says best to tell them that you don't play FPL. Yeah, maybe that's where I've been going wrong. So you're telling me, wait, this is very strange. You're telling me that if I tell all of the ladies that I've got an FPL YouTube channel with 14,000 subscribers, that I have 33,000 followers on my FPL Twitter account, and that I'm ranked 38k, that's not going to attract the ladies. Surely that's not true. All of those things I've listed are just very attractive, aren't they? Yeah. Some advice: probably don't bang on about FPL if you're on a date. I don't think, unless she plays FPL, I don't think that's probably I don't think that's the best way to approach a first date. Tobias in the chat. Vardy captain. Yeah, screw it. I went for Vardy captain. I've lost the plot, Toby. I've lost the plot. Who did you go for, Toby, for captaincy? I think most people went for... By the way, did you triple captain Cancelo last week? Because you said you were looking at it. What about Romania? Romania is... Yeah, Romania's actually there, 0.4%. 4,000 of my views of the 1.3 million views I've had on my channel are from Romania. I'm seeing some people took a hit to bring in Schmeichel. That's really not ideal, is it? I'm really hoping the Schmeichel news is just wrong, to be honest. New Zealand has a small population, only 5 million. Ah, okay, that might be why then. I really want to go to New Zealand, desperately, to be honest. I'd really, really like to visit there. Yeah, New Zealand's got nice mountains. You should know, shouldn't you, of all your hikes? Hi, Ross, your book arrived. Looking forward to reading it on the Turkish beach in June. Love listening to this section while I work out, by the way. It's becoming a nice routine at the weekend. Love to hear it. Enjoy your workout. I am doing back today, like a lat-focused back workout at the gym. So that's what I'll be doing that at about, I don't know, maybe in the evening, actually, because I kind of want to watch the Leicester game. If Vardy plays, I'll do my workout in the evening. What would it take for you to quit FPL? It would be me not enjoying it anymore. If I don't enjoy FPL, I won't play FPL. I love FPL. And I love creating content for FPL as well. The deadline has passed, hasn't it? It has indeed, yeah. I got Cucurella and Trossard as punts. Yep, love that. Your content has been mint this year, Ross. Going to take a break next year, but we'll be back and hope your subscription numbers have skyrocketed in that time. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, fingers crossed we have a good season for the channel and that the channel continues to grow. Is Luca Dean benched? Any other early team news? Some people are saying he is. The only early team news that looks reliable is that Schmeichel's benched, which isn't ideal, obviously, but oh well. Girls probably like guys with passions, interests, but don't sound too nerdy, geeky talking about. That's true. If you come across as you're passionate about FPL, but you don't make it sound like I choose different players every week to who I think is going to score points in a fantasy game, and there's the triple captain. Like, don't bore them with the details. But if you say I've got a passion for a football related game, I'm sure you could wing that. It's about the way you deliver these things, right? Good, solid eye contact, deliver it well. You can make anything sound cool. My favorite holiday destination, I'll be honest, my traveling's been pretty atrocious. So I don't really have a favorite. But after my PhD, I'm planning on not traveling the world, but I'm going to try it in a few different countries. I'd like to try to live in Dubai, New Zealand, Italy, Thailand. I want to spend like a year and a half traveling around. I want to try and vlog some of it as well and make like a separate YouTube channel. So I'll let you know in a few years what my favorite places are to visit. Ex-professional footballer, doctorate, and successful online following. Sounds great when you leave out FPL. Thank you. Yeah. If I just say I'm an influencer, I've got a YouTube channel. I'm an influencer. They'll probably think like I do some sort of like fitness channel. No, it's just I pick FPL players and stream a Philosoraptor segment on my live stream. Bottled a last-minute captaincy on Luca Dean and played it safe on Son. Yeah, it's still a good captaincy shout. And note, bottled that too. Instead, Salah returned me a massive 9 points. If the Luca Dean shout goes wrong as well, maybe next season the play, Toby, is to not bottle it. Maybe it's just to go bold. Hey, Ross, feeling good about our team today. Smashing it. Got 12 points to make up to get to the top of my mini league. Best of luck, Phil. Hopefully you have a good week. Yes, do visit. Love to show you around. Yeah, if I visit New Zealand, Clive, whereabouts are you again in New Zealand? I'd love that. I'd get some sort of any country that I go to in the next couple of years. If I'm there for a long enough period, I'm going to try and set up some sort of FPL meet up in those countries because I know there's definitely someone in every country that would be up for doing that. What's the lowest percentage countries? Anyone holding out their national Raptor fan club on their own? Yeah, I have to like export the file to look at particularly low. But like, for example, ones that you wouldn't expect to be low for views on my channel, France is one of the lowest, all right, which is strange. What else we got? Just to give you some other information, top African country is South Africa. Followed by that, we've got Kenya coming in hot and Nigeria. So big up if you're from South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria. From the top Asian countries are India, Malaysia, Singapore, quite high, Thailand, quite high. And then, like I said, UK is just the massive bulk. As you would expect, it's an English-based game, and I'm English, and a lot of people watch the Premier League in the UK and Wales and Scotland. So that's why the United Kingdom's so high, as you would expect. Late riser as captain Luca Dean. Huge. That is huge. Absolutely massive. Have you been to Norway? I've not. I've been to I know it's not the same country at all, but I've been to Finland. That's about as far as my sort of Scandinavian adventures go. Do you watch The Walking Dead? That jacket you wore earlier reminds me of what Rick wears. I haven't watched the latest 2 seasons of Walking Dead, so please no one spoil it for me. I've watched the first like 10 or 11 seasons of Walking Dead. Yeah, to be honest, I love Rick Grimes is obviously the coolest guy in the world, but yeah, I love the jacket that Rick wears, so that's super cool that you said that. Thanks. Yeah, I love Walking Dead was class. I just need to catch up the latest 2 seasons. It's one of those where, like I said, I work like 110 hours a week when you combine my PhD lecturing, YouTube, and other responsibility and stuff. So I don't get a lot of time to sit down and watch. I I don't get a lot of time to sit down and watch a series at the moment. I haven't been to the gym in a year, thinking of getting a Newfoundland to get me out more. Yeah, definitely go to the gym. I feel so much better. Last few sort of weeks, months, I've been working on... My hat keeps going wonky. I think I've got a wonky head, by the way. Is my head like this? Because the hat keeps... last few weeks, months, I've been working on fitness, going to the gym 5 or 6 times a week. It might not look like it. You can't really see when I'm sat down anyway. Dieting as well, like eating really, really healthy and getting a lot of sleep. Exercise, sleep, and nutrition. If you nail those 3, you'll just feel so much more positive. You'll feel healthier, happier. Your cognitive functioning will be so much sharper. Trust me. Come to Sydney. Yeah, I'd like to go to Australia, and if I went to New Zealand or Australia, I'd get both done, just because obviously it's a long flight, so I'd probably stay like a month in each place. I asked my girl if I should captain Richarlison or Ings, and she left me. I shouldn't laugh, just in case that's real. She's not the one for you, bro. Mauritius, have you ever heard of it? Yeah, I have. We've got 2 members from Mauritius. Two of our members are from Mauritius. So yeah, I've definitely heard of Mauritius. You should come over to Gambia. It's a beautiful country. Is Gambia on the list? Gambia's not on the list of sort of top 30 there. But yeah, if I ever come to Africa, I'll try and do a few different countries for sure. Oh, I just want to know if Vardy starts. We're not going to get any early team news, to be fair, but I do want to know. Come visit Berlin. Yeah, Germany. I'd like to go there as well. Repping Kenya. Love to see it, my man. Finland not in Scandinavia, though. Oh, apologies then. I've absolutely butchered that. I very, very much apologise for that if I've got that wrong. They're all the sort of countries up and left, up and left from the UK. Cold place with beautiful scenery is the link that I was trying to make there. How to deal with brain fog, sleep and nutrition. Like I said, sleep, nutrition, exercise will absolutely clear cognitive functioning. Big up to you. Do you ever see yourself getting married? Personal question. I remember you talked about your fiance. How's it going? What's the plan? I'll answer both of those. I don't know why I get so personal. I did break up with my fiance about 6-7 months ago. So I am a single Pringle ready to mingle. No, I'm joking. I'm just working on myself for the last sort of 7 months or so. So yes, I absolutely see myself getting married at some stage. I thought that would be a lot sooner, obviously with my fiance, but yeah, we broke up. Didn't work out long distance sort of thing. Different angles, what we wanted to go with life. Basically, I told her that I wanted to play FPL forever, and she said, screw that, piss off. Oh, no, she didn't. But yeah, we just went our separate ways. So I'm now single. But yeah, I can definitely see myself getting married someday. For the time being, I'm just loving, like... Don't be afraid to be alone, by the way. I don't want to get too deep on this segment, but don't feel like you've got to rush out into relationships. Don't feel like you've got to push and be with someone. Don't feel like you can't be alone. Like, I'm absolutely loving, like, working out, eating well, sleeping well, working on my PhD, working on trying to better myself, because what you'll find is the better your life, the better shape that your life is in, you'll meet people and that will be more attractive to them. There's nothing worse than someone that is desperate and feels the need to be with other people and isn't working on themselves. So I'm going to stop there to answer your questions, because I've got a few questions about my fiance. Yeah. And to be honest, I'm just one of those people that I love being alone, right? I love being in my own, like I live alone in Nottingham doing my PhD and stuff. I love it. I love having no responsibilities. I don't get particularly lonely. So I guess it does depend on what sort of person you are. But yeah, don't be afraid of being alone for a bit. Obviously, you don't want to be alone forever. Make sure you've got family and friends close to you. Don't like isolate yourself. But if you're in that stage in your life where you haven't met anyone yet, don't stress too much. Hey Ross, thanks for the Atomic Habits book recommendation ages ago. I'm about halfway through and really enjoying it. Atomic Habits, one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely love Atomic Habits. I'm currently reading Why We Sleep, by the way. It's absolutely brilliant as well. Could you be alone forever and happy? When you say alone, I could probably not be in a relationship and be fairly happy, but I need my family and friends, and I'd like to be in... I'd like to be in a relationship in the future, obviously, but yeah. I don't think anyone should be alone forever. Honestly, I've been married 5 years, and in my mid-early 30s, there are a few things I feel like I miss out on, so it's definitely as much of a sacrifice. Yeah, there are definitely things that, like, I want to travel the world, and it's a lot harder to do if you're in a relationship with someone that doesn't want to travel the world, and I like the idea of Lucas starts, Kulusevski benched. All interesting. We'll get onto that. Yeah, I like the idea of being able to have that independence for now. Right. Apparently, Lucas starts and Kulusevski's benched. Late change. Dan is absolutely smacking someone there. Kulusevski drops to the bench and Lucas Moura starts. Okay, so it looks like more Kulusevski on the bench, which sucks a little bit. At least he's with the squad, I guess, which means he'll be back for 38. We'll get the Spurs Twitter account up nice and ready. Sorry, where were we? If she doesn't see the point of captaining Vardy on a free hit, she ain't the one for you. Yeah, it's true. I love being married almost 8 years now, and I'm 32, but it's more important to find the right partner. Absolutely. Absolutely. You've got to find the right partner for you, for sure. Great advice, Ross. Being in a relationship has pros and cons. Being single also has pros and cons. Just make the best of what you have. Exactly. And stop like looking forward. I'm very keen on like living in the present moment. Try always, wherever possible, to be grateful for what you've got. Yes, it wasn't great to go through that, but I've got my health. I've got my YouTube channel. I've got you guys that support me massively. I've got my Twitter account. I've got my PhD. I've got my lecturing. Like I said, I'm fit, healthy, and there are so many people that are worse off. And so try and live in the present. Stop looking forward to the future and be grateful for what you've got right here in the moment. And that's a key point. That will go for relationships. That will go for whatever you're doing in your life. Something that I've done, by the way, I like to try and share stuff with you guys. I've bought a journal. Look at this. This is exciting, isn't it? I'm not particularly someone that enjoys it at the moment, to be honest, but I've read by far too many people that I trust, psychologists, that waking up in the morning and doing a bit of journaling massively helps to just get stuff off your chest, help you to live in the present moment, focus on what's worrying you, focus on your stresses, focus on all of that different stuff. So if you're struggling and you want something that's part of your morning routine, wake up, make yourself a coffee, have a shower, make your bed, get a journal, give it a go. Right, I'm not going to show you what's in my journal, my deepest, darkest secrets, but give that a go. That's always something that you could do. Bit of advice. Right, we've got 2 minutes till the Tottenham lineup. Great video as always. Love the psychology and the tips. Thank you, I appreciate that. Glad that you're enjoying the channel and the psychology side of things as well. To be with the wrong person is worse than being alone, trust me. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Ali, that you've been through that, but yeah, I agree. And even if you think they're the right person at one point, doesn't mean that they are the right person long term. Been exposed to your channel a lot recently and loving the content. I've subscribed. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you are watching this and you've not yet subscribed, please do give a little subscribe. What are your tips for journaling? Any templates you follow? No, the key thing is you don't follow a template. Just write whatever comes to your head. The thing that I like doing, I've only been doing it for a few days, is at the end of it, I'll just write a key point. So my point on my first day was to try and be more present in the moment. I realized that with my YouTube channel, I'm constantly focused on, I want to hit 15,000 subscribers, and then I want to hit 30,000 subscribers, then I want to do this next year, and then the season after that, and I'm just like, whoa, like, why am I focusing so much on the future of my channel? I'm so grateful to have almost 15,000 subscribers. I've got 400 people sitting here listening to me ramble on about stuff. You need to live in the present and be grateful for what you've got. So on my first day, I wrote loads of different pieces. And then I just had a quote in there, which basically just said, be present in the moment. So I like to just write what's off the top of my head and then add a few little quotes in there at the end of things that I really like, the key take home points, I guess. So that would be my advice there. There we go. Kulusevski benched, Sessegnon, Royale, Son, and Kane start. Nothing particularly shocking there. I'll leave that up for you. The greatest thing you can learn while being a straight single is respecting women. This is coming from a guy married for 5 years. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've already got so much respect for women anyway. I grew up in a basically all-female household with my nan, mum, sister. So I've got massive respect anyway, but I agree. That's definitely something to do. Living in the moment is great advice. There will always be people better off and there will always be people worse off. Absolutely. And it is relative. Like, I'm not saying that you should always just be grateful and you should never be upset. If something's not going well, absolutely. But just be grateful for what you do have. Like, if you've got family around you, call your family if you're having a tough day and be grateful that you can still call your family and stuff like that. So, yeah. Hit like for your non-FPL advice rather than your FPL stuff. That's fine as well. Yeah, if you're enjoying the non-FPL stuff, do drop a like. Atomic Habits is a fantastic book. Always do what makes you happy, and sooner or later someone will be right for you. Gratitude and health priority. Absolutely. I think we're as a generation, we're absolutely. Oh, Veghorst benched. Okay, one sec. Let me get back to what I was saying in 2 seconds, because this is an FPL channel at the end of the day. Yeah, that's pretty rough, isn't it? So Tark is injured. Ben Mee's injured. They've got Loughton and Collins at centre back, and then they've got Barnes and Cornet up top. So yeah, Veghorst is benched. That sucks a little bit. I thought it was a decent option for this week, to be honest. Is he even in the team? Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's on the bench. He's on the bench. I can't remember where I was. I got interrupted. Midway through. Anyway, journaling helps me daily. A fantastic podcast is Dr. Andrew Huberman. I will check that out for sure. Who would you prefer to finish top 4? Probably Tottenham. I just hate Arsenal. I'm really sorry. It's where I grew up. It's nothing to do with the team particularly. I grew up in like the suburbs of London, like Essex/London. It was in like the crossover, and everyone was an Arsenal fan, and I just can't bear them. They're just always in my ear, just chatting. Again, it's nothing against the Arsenal fans on this channel or Arsenal in general. It's just the Arsenal fans that I grew up with were always giving it the big one. Do you think people can know the future? No, I strongly disagree that people can predict the future. Son and Kane feasting on that back line. Yeah, it does look like a Son and Kane mega haul, doesn't it? All right, guys, we're going to stream for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to go get something to eat. Unsubbed, unmembered, and undonated. Please don't. I like the members that are Arsenal fans, but not anyone else. However bad you've got it, remember there is always someone else out there in a much worse situation. Absolutely. And there's always something to be grateful for. No matter how bad your life is, there's something that you can look to and say, I'm grateful for that. And that helped me get through some tougher times in the past as well. What am I grateful for? And then the final thing, a final piece of parting knowledge, is only stress about what you can control. There is absolutely no point stressing about something. I can't control how other people feel about me particularly. I can't control the growth of my FPL channel. I can control the content that I put out. I can control the way that I treat people. I can control the way that I react to different events and different environments and different things that happen in my life. What I can't control is other people. I can't control external things like my FPL rank, how many subscribers I get. Only try and control what you can in life, and that will just, the weight will come off your shoulder, and you'll think, do you know what? I absolutely can only control certain things. And once you only focus on the things you can control, you will start to influence your life in a more positive fashion. So that's going to be my parting wisdom for you guys. If you have enjoyed the stream, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I massively appreciate it. We're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers. It's going to be very, very close, but every single subscriber counts. So if you want to share my just reading off the chat. If you want to share my channel with other people, then please do consider doing so. I do massively appreciate it. And hopefully there'll be at least 3 or 4 pieces of content next week. So please do tune into all of the content next week. And yeah, definitely tune into the final deadline stream. We're going to make it a monster deadline stream. We're going to do all sorts of stuff on it. It's going to be really, really exciting. And I just massively appreciate it. Hopefully we get a green arrow in Game Week 37. Hopefully Jamie Vardy starts, and if he doesn't, let's not stress about it. It is a game. We're going to try and have some fun with it, and we'll bounce back next season if we finish the season in a poor fashion. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Massively appreciate it. Cheers. Bye-bye.